Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Untitled Sickles Project. I am your Ordinator of Chaos, the MaskedAura, and today is an annual time of time itself. We are talking about the NHL trade deadline. This is the third year we have done this. I don't have any images saved for year one. Who are you people? Brad! Brad! Yeah, that was bad. What is my fucking thing doing? God damn it. It was working! Fuck me. Okay, there. Fuck off. I hate OBS sometimes. Changes my fucking settings. Okay, no, just for like 10 seconds, just say everybody else's intros. It got what I said, but it didn't do the audio part, because life is fucking stupid.
What happened?
It wasn't allowing me... The OBS, I was trying... When everyone's doing their intros, I was trying to... OBS wasn't picking up on the fucking desktop audio, so I had to fucking fight with it. Fucking hate OBS.
So, what does that mean? They couldn't hear us?
They heard my intro, they didn't hear your intro.
That's quite unfortunate.
Okay, so, can they hear us now?
Yeah. It's fixed. It's fixed now.
Alright, okay, my name is Carsausage, and, Luke may have screwed up for a second there, but not as bad as Brad did.
Why?
Oh, man. Anyways, I'm Nickman. We're trying this again, but, I don't have much to say about myself, other than the fact that I'm literally a sleeping knight in the thumbnail.
And I'm just screaming Brad as loud as I can.
And I'm a lumberjack.
I'm just screaming to the cloud. Brad.
And, Noah, who the hell are you?
Not that Brad!
I don't know who I am. I'm not even sure if I exist. Nah, I'm just kidding. The Flyers fan who, as mentioned, the Flyers fan who is happy that the Flyers finally did things at the trade deadline. If you remember what happened 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I honestly don't remember the deets. I do remember that JVR was not traded away. And I love JVR, but he needed to be traded. He wasn't traded after much deliberation. And man, that gave me so many nightmares for the deadline for a while. Long story short is the Flyers finally did things, and there's finally a sense of direction.
So, how this works is we are going to go over the team's trade deadline, starting from the good old day of Bobby Bonilla all the way to the trade deadline, because I feel like that's like one trade. We're going to look at what you did, how these, trades really impacted your team. And then we're going to grade them. I am going to take the median. I'm going to take the median of everybody's opinion. And we're going to put it on a tier list maker. I'm just trying to find year one of it. I'm just trying to find the first year. Because it's on, we did not save it. Okay, there you go. So I got you one. So year one, we've had such many flops. As, for example, putting the Florida Panthers in the D tier.
That's what that noise was. I was like, what the heck is that noise in my headphones?
It's just background music. Oh, yeah, shit, that's right. I'm on... So it's just stream background music.
Yeah, he's having a Mr. Ursay moment, folks.
I'll quickly switch browsers.
Just give him a minute for him to switch between.
I gotta log in on YouTube and Microsoft. I gotta log in on Microsoft.
This is the typical start to a sicko stream.
Joe Flacco. No, wait, Anthony Richardson. No.
So anyways, let's go with the first team. The first team we have is the Anaheim Ducks. So if someone could go over the Anaheim Ducks trade while I quickly do this.
Alright, and you said your source was Sportsnet?
Yes, Sportsnet. Or actually, you can just read my screen.
Okay, so, getting started with the Anaheim Ducks.
Yes, it is. We start with the bottom, very bottom.
Alright, so we get things started with a trade for Brian Dumoulin from the Seattle. Brian Dumoulin from the Seattle Kraken. I don't know why he wanted to say Seahawks. Maybe I'm just too football brained. Fuck you, Luke. And in addition, they send away a 4th rounder in 2026 to do so. Dumoulin, he exists, and then the next one, July 3rd, literally the next day, they send Gage Alexander to the Red Wings for Robbie Fabry and a conditional 4th in 2025. Then we get a real funny one on December 6th, where they acquired Jacob Trouba from the New York Rangers. That's already kind of funny that, one of the biggest goons goes to the gooniest division to ever goon it up.
Yeah,
and
having a goon go to the team that was once owned by Disney is a very much a goony thing to happen.
Yeah, and we're not talking about masturbation here, folks.
Yeah, we are not talking about that.
And in return, they send the Rangers Urho Vakanainen. You're going to have to forgive me. I'm not good with Finnish last names. Urho Vakanainen and a 4th rounder this year. And then they make another trade. This one, they send Cam Fowler and the 4th to the St. Louis Blues, and in return they get Jeremy Biaka-Batuka and a 2nd rounder. Considering Cam Fowler has a page and Biaka-Batuka does not, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say the Blues won that one. Next up is a 1-for-1 with the San Jose Sharks. Never a good sign. They send Pavel Regenda for Justin Bailey, left winger for a right winger. Then a month later, they get Ville Husso from the Red Wings for future considerations. Who knows what that means? And then almost as quickly as he got here, Dumoulin goes to the Devils for Herman Traff and a conditional 2nd while retaining Dumoulin's contract. So that full trade is that they sent a 4th in 2024 For Herman Traff, a second rounder in 2025, and 50% of Dumoulin's contract. And then finally, they acquire Oliver Kylington for future considerations. Overall, it's not good. It's not good.
I mean, seeing as how they tried to buy in to, like, really shore up their team, and then... Because the Ducks are just in this weird tier of eternal rebuild. Like, you see the skies of, like, their young players that they've drafted, and you feel like they're just so close to hitting their ceilings, but yet they just never do, and they're on the fringes of trading them eventually. Like, the Ducks have failed a rebuild, and they really don't want to admit that they failed a rebuild to start another rebuild.
I mean,
it's the Sabres of the West, in short.
The Ducks were screwed in the first place. I don't understand why they hired Dallas Eakins to begin with. He was the absolute worst coach you could have had for anything. Competitiveness, starting a rebuild, he's awful.
And seeing as how I feel like they need to sell more, and you gotta do more than just, I gotta look at the Ducks Twitter. They would have full details with that conditional.
I mean, the way I see it with Anaheim, it's for the trade deadline, pretty lackluster stuff. Like, there's not really much to comment on outside of the Trouba trade, because honestly, at least the Trouba trade is, pretty funny in itself. I mean, I will give a little bit of benefit to Anaheim. Like, they have actually been playing some pretty solid hockey as of late, so I will be giving them credit to that. But in terms of the trade deadline, not much to really comment on. I mean, the only others, there was the Robbie Fabry trade, and also the Billy Husso trade, which really didn't amount to much. As I don't know where he is right now, because he's not on the active roster right now, and I think the only reason they even made that trade was because Gibson had a little setback with an injury, though I think he's only day-to-day, so nothing really outside of the Trouba trade, nothing really notable to talk about here.
Yeah, and something to note about Billy Husso, he's currently in the American Hockey League, so somebody who I thought was a starting caliber goalie really can't do well. And I mean, his his season in the AHL, 13 games, 912 save percentage, an 8-4 record with a 2.7 goals per game. I mean, it's good. Like, it's good, but you gotta wonder what the Ducks do here, because they need to prove that they could really use they could do well with the players that they have. And there's just the same old struggle we see every year. So, for letter grades,
God damn it.
C-.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, C-. Sorry. A bit of a gripe when it comes to the application process.
Understandable. Noah, what do you give the Anaheim Ducks trades?
It's honestly strange to...
I think it's...
Hang on a second.
Okay.
I honestly give them a D+.
I said C-.
Yeah, 2 C-.
I'd probably give it like a C+.
Average
so it's
C,
in the C range.
C- is the average.
They did get good value out of a player that has kind of just been there. That 2025 conditional second round pick could come in handy.
It is. I just looked at the conditions. It is which pick is higher between Edmonton's or the Devils. Whichever pick was the highest. So that is the condition, so it doesn't even become a first. So, I mean, I think they should be selling harder. I mean, Leo Carlson doesn't look like he's emerging as like a number one player for them. Trevor Zegras, I mean, what the hell has happened to him? I think they need to sell Zegras at some point.
They still have a long way to go, though.
Yeah, which is something you don't want to hear, because they should be almost done their rebuild. Yeah,
but again, they had Dallas Eakins as their head coach. That alone set them back years.
That is true.
Very true.
The Arizona Coyotes don't exist. It's a Utah Hockey Club.
I call them the Hornets, Chet. So if you hear me talk about the Hornets, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Here we go. Let's keep going. We're currently loading because as much as I hate it, Utah Hockey Club. We're almost there. We're getting to their birthplace hopefully soon. It might be... Is that it? They only 3 moves?
Yeah, they actually had a pretty low key deadline.
Where's the trade that they had this summer? Why isn't that loading?
Let me check the TSN trade tracker.
I should probably do both.
Oh, shut up, TSN.
Yeah, they did have some.
Yeah, here it is. I got it. Alright, so I have it filtered for Utah Hornets.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
it's happened in June. That's why. But yeah, we can go back in June. So, let us begin.
You want me to be the guy who lists off all the trades that they did? You know, sort of.
Actually, I can do this one. I can do this one.
Yeah, we can go back and forth like a match of tennis, okay?
Okay, so we start off in June 28th in our Lord and Savior 2024, where they sent the Avalanche 2 second-round picks and a third to pick in the first round. They got Mikhail Sergachev. They sent JJ Monster, Connor Geeky, a second and a 7th-round pick. And then they got John Marino, sending 2 seconds to the Devils and acquiring a 5th-round pick. They would get Jan Jarek for Igor Slorokov. They would acquire Aloy Mata from the Red Wings for a 3rd-round pick. They would get Sammy Walker from the Minnesota Wild for future considerations. Then they would send up the contract of... They would acquire the contract of Shea Weber, Victor Soderstrom, and Acute Ratti, and send a 5th-round pick along the way. So it depends on how you really view the Utah Hockey Club. They're not really in a position to buy, but they don't want to sell either.
Yeah, here's my thoughts. You can take the Coyotes out of Arizona, but you can't take the Arizona out of the Coyotes. And this is like standard. Okay, I guess I'll take these nasty ass contracts off your hands.
I mean, because to note, Utah's only 3 points out of a playoff spot.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Hornets are in a playoff spot. It's just I feel like this is sort of the same song and dance we've had when they were the Arizona Coyotes. And even then, it felt like the Coyotes were also just outside of a playoff spot.
That's true, but I feel like this time around there's more hope for this franchise than in past years. I feel like it's just another year of the players just getting older, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Utah Hockey Club, like I mentioned this earlier, I think if there's any team that could sneak in to the playoffs, it is the Utah Hockey Club. They are, the Flames, they're pretty easy to chase. The Canucks, lol. And the Blues, you're in the same boat as everybody else. You're so close to playoffs, but you're not gonna do a mass sell up. That's just not quite the correct move.
They're what I like to call the smokers of the league. Like everything they do feels like old-fashioned in the same way that like finding out someone still smokes is still.
But something to also note too: their last 10, they're 7-3.
Right.
So if the Flames 3-4-3, the Canucks are 5-4-1 and can't score over 3 goals. Blues are 6-2-2. So if you're looking for a team that can sneak in right now, I think it's the Utah Hockey Club. Although they are losing to the Blackhawks, what the fuck are you losing to the Blackhawks for?
You know, this
3-1 right now.
This year is kind of weird, and look, everybody, it looks like the Wild and the Canucks are playing. So fuck you, Luke.
Oh yeah, don't tell me what the final score is. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to get that fuck you out of the way.
I understand that. So does anybody else? So Nick, no. What are your comments of the Utah Hockey Club?
Not much to really say, though. I do like that trade they did with the Lightning. That trade has honestly turned out pretty well for them, because I know Sergachev has done pretty well for the hockey club, so you know what? Good on them for that. Outside of that, there's not really much else I have to say about these trades for Utah. It's pretty standard stuff, but at least one of their trades has turned out pretty good for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you were to ask me, this feels like this Utah season feels like the one that Arizona almost had if it wasn't for that disastrous February. Because the Coyotes, did I call them the Coyotes? The Coyotes were a very solid team last year in their final year in Arizona, and were very much in the playoff push until that February where they had a winless month. Thanks, Morello, once again, for destroying everything that Arizona held dear. Either way, this kind of Utah season is pretty much what Arizona had until February, except now it's more sustained.
Arizona Sauce, if you don't make it, you still have TJ Iginla, who should be really damn good.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really have much of a comment on their trade deadline, other than the fact that they're actually doing things now and actually making decisions that can either set them up for the playoffs or make it this year. Which is a vast improvement over the final years of Arizona, where they were constantly selling off.
Mm-hmm. So seeing as how like they're really close, and the answer's in their prospect pool. The answer's there. You're almost there. Your players just got to get another year older. They just got to get better. In terms of a grade, I will give them a B. I think I'll give them B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think B minus B. I think that's a good grade. Good grade.
I'd give it a B too.
Spencer.
Yeah, I think a B for B because they're the Hornets. Ha 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 ha.
All right. Swag. All right, next team. The Boston Bruins.
Oh boy, it's a
this one's gonna be a long one. And it couldn't have happened to does TSN know more of what I need right away?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Sportsnet.
Yeah.
Holy shit! All right. Well.
All right. Oh wait, scroll up. You're in 2023.
Oh, whoops. Damn, not that far back.
There you go. Let's. I think we should start with the big one. So, getting things started, we have a bad trade. As the Bruins send Linus Ullmark to the Ottawa Senators for Joonas Korpisalo, Mark Kastelic, and first in 2024. And I gotta say, Linus is actually is causing a bit of a revival in the goaltending for the Ottawa Senators. Meanwhile, the Boston Bruins are struggling with Jeremy Swayman and ... question mark. And Next up, we got Vinny Lettieri and fourth going to Boston from Minnesota. And in return, the Wild get a fourth and Jakub Lauko, who I want to say we just sent Jakub Lauko somewhere. Let me check to see if I'm right about this.
Yeah, where is he?
Or am I taking crazy pills?
Might be thinking of someone else.
Oh, okay. Anyway, next up, the Boston Bruins, they acquire Max Vanner from the Edmonton Oilers, as well as a second and fourth in 2025. In return, they get Trent Frederick. In return, the Edmonton Oilers receive Trent Frederick, Max Jones, and Peter Hauser. Next, we jump forward to March 6th, and here's where things start getting a little interesting. They send one of their better bottom sixers, Justin Brazeau, to Minnesota, once again tapping the Minnesota well, because, hey, it works sometimes. For a 6th in 2026, Marat Kuznetsov and Jakub Lauko. That's where he went. Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah, so thank you for the rental on Jakub Lauko. We didn't like it, and we're only gonna have to give him two big booms. Boom. Next up, they send Charlie Coyle to the Colorado Avalanche and a 5th rounder. In return, they're getting a 2nd rounder this year, Casey Middlestott and William Zellers. Because, hey, the Avalanche were Zellers! Hey-yo!
Boo!
Here's the big one that got a certain Canadian very upset. In an absolute blockbuster, they send Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers for a conditional 2027 second round pick, which could become a 2027 or 2028 first round pick if Florida wins 2 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs and Marchand plays 50% of the team's playoff games. And Boston will retain 50% of Brad Marchand's salary. And then, scroll up. I don't believe we're done.
Holy fuck. No, we're not.
Then, next up, they send Brandon Carlo for the Leafs in return for Fraser Minton, a conditional 2026 first rounder, which is top 5 protected, and the Flyers' 4th round pick in 2025. And then they acquire Henry Jokiharju, which I'm not sure why, but they do send off that 4th rounder that they previously acquired from Edmonton to Buffalo. So can we qualify that as a certified Buffalo moment?
No, not really. It's only a 4th.
All right, and then we go to and then our most recent trade, which just came in about 5 hours ago. They acquired Daniil Misiul from New Jersey in exchange for Mark McLaughlin.
I hate this. I fucking hate the Bruins. It pisses me off to no avail that for some sick reason, for Brandon Carlo, we have to give an arm and a leg and 3 limbs, our soul and our soul to the afterlife. Meanwhile, the Florida Panthers get like a fucking Brad Marchand and couponing discounts.
Say the line, Luke.
Brad!
Oh man.
I fuck you, Boston. I was enjoying, like, here's the thing. It's so annoying because they quietly sold off everything. They have 3 first-round picks to play with. 3 from this trade cycle. They've... Alright, everyone's cool. You can all comment on it. I'm just mad.
No,
I'm outraged.
Let your nuts hang. Let your nuts hang.
I'm outraged. I'm annoyed. I am pissed off. I hate the Bruins more than anything, and yet they're gonna be bad for like 2 to 3 years, and then rise from the ashes of your own division's desperation.
And you're
Like they take advantage of Ottawa. What did Ottawa do? They take advantage of the Maple Leafs. Fucking. I hate this. I'm annoyed. It pisses me off because this was like the best outcome for a trade deadline. This is a seller's wet dream. You wish the Anaheim Ducks could do this well for selling. Like, this is what the Ducks should have done. They didn't. The only thing, like, right, is they should have gotten more for Marchand. But they didn't.
Oh, hell no. These people want a master's degree?
Ooh.
That's
Anyways,
bullshit, man.
what grades would you give them?
I might as well give my honest thoughts on it.
Oh, sorry. Thoughts first, then we'll grade them. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really funny because I looked at Boston's moves like early on as to what we count as the trade deadline, and all I can think of is, yeah, I see why you're having to sell. I see why you're having to sell when you do trades like the Olmark trade, and that backfires spectacularly. And given how much of your free agency moves didn't go well, yeah, it makes sense why you're having to sell. Granted, I really do like, I mean, obviously, being the biggest trolls imaginable to the Foreign of Toronto and doing what you did with the Marchand trade is, yeah, that is a very much a Boston Bruins moment if there ever was one. But that being said, I will say of all the trades they made, I do like that they got Casey Middlestat from the Charlie Coyle trade. That was actually a pretty solid trade, and you also get like a second round pick this year. So pretty solid trade. But honestly, the fact of the matter is, the Bruins were in a pretty shitty direction, and there's a real shot that for as much shit as he rightfully gets, Don Sweeney just saved his job by selling everything.
Yeah, on one hand, they
I think
are
this all started
definitely-
because of a broken stick.
Yeah, this all started because of a broken stick. Like, honestly, part of it, is like, they had a bad year, obviously, because they had a bad trade deadline because they had to sell a bunch of faces of the franchise. But on the other hand, they had to do this, and also we got some prime Maple Leaf salt. So I'm inclined to give them a B, a little bit above Utah.
I'm giving him an A+. This was the perfect. Their trade cycle was perfect. 3 first-round picks. They were quite sellers all year long, and you robbed the Maple Leafs, and you're already starting to piece together your top 9 for the future. A+.
I'd give them a B. I think they could have gotten more from Marchand.
That's fair.
Sorry, I found damn.
Nick, what do you give them?
I will give Boston, all things considered, I will give them an A-. I think A- is good.
A-. So we got 2 B's, an A-, and an A+. I think it puts them in B+ territory?
It's like around B+, A-. I think that works.
Yeah, B+ territory. Alright, but I hate... Fuck you, Boston. Fuck you. Hate you. Fucking suck. Alright, anyways, it's time to do our annual laugh-a-doodles at the Sabres. We go from trading down in the entry-level draft, and then they get Beck Melston from the Washington Capitals. They sent Matthew Savoy from the Oilers to get Ryan McLeod and Tyler Tullio. They sent Dylan Cousins and Dennis Gilbert and a second to Ottawa for Jared Bernard Docker and Josh Norris, sending Henry Yorkenharu and get a sixth. They sent Nicholas Ubkabel and acquire Eric Brandstrom. So quite the interesting.
Just a few corrections. Ryan's last name is actually pronounced McLeod.
Oh.
I can't believe it's real, but that's actually how it's pronounced. And you were struggling with who they sent to New York. It is Nicolas Aube-Kubel.
Actually, no, the Cabell played for the fucking Leafs for 1 year.
Aube-Kubel.
Okay, so, the Sabres are in this weird position of... I don't know why you said Matthew Savoy. He was a top 10 pick. But their whole thing of acquiring stuff to help them really blossom, this goes back to when they traded Bowen Byram, when they acquired Bowen Byram and sent away Casey Middlestat. They haven't really done much. They lightly sold, but I mean, let's look at their standings here. Let's look at the standings here as, oh hey, the Sabres are dead last in the league. Yeah, they're confusing to me because like they acquire stuff that you think that would help them in the long term, but like it doesn't help them at all, and they do a little bit of buying and selling, and it's still not going to help them at all. That's kind of how I feel about the Sabres.
Well, first off, it needs to be said that Eric Brandstrom, a Golden Knights legend, he was a part of the Mark Stone trade, and he never panned out for Ottawa. So that is a Golden Knights legend if there ever was one. But regarding Buffalo here, I do like that they got Josh Norris. I think that's a pretty good move to get Josh Norris, even if it does cost you Dylan Cousins and a round 2 pick in 2026. But I think that's fair enough for that. It's just this is kind of the problem with Buffalo is it really feels like Buffalo, whether it be with management or just the whole direction of the franchise, there's no clear direction as to what Buffalo is doing right now, and a part of that is,
and that's an affront to Terry Pegula.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, this has been 13 years of this now. 13 years of no direction and no plan. How is that possible?
Personally, I like when it comes to the Sabres, I like pronouncing it Pegula because then it makes all the sucking make sense.
Yeah.
I just got it.
Yeah, they really do love to peg their fan base, truly.
God damn it!
It felt like the last time. It really felt like the last time Buffalo had a plan was back when basically they pissed off everyone away. You pissed off O'Reilly, you pissed off Reinhardt, you pissed off Leonard. Eventually, you pissed off Eichel, and a lot of them saw success, much brighter success than they would ever see in the cold hells of Buffalo. And it's just there's moves I like here with Buffalo, but the fact of the matter is, this is the Buffalo Sabres we're talking about here. How should I be optimistic about this?
I gotta be honest, they haven't, they oh god, this is embarrassing, like, that I even say this, but, like, they haven't been relevant since the days of the goddamn Buffa Slug.
I mean, literally, the last time they made the playoffs was the same time the New York Jets had last made the playoffs.
That's more of a damning statement than anything else. Like,
Maybe
they
they
can do
should
this
bring
whole cute idea of trying to build something, but, like, what exactly are you doing? Because the thing is, like, you can't just build up a team. Because, and again, you're in the hardest division in hockey. Think of how many, like, teams are in the Atlantic that are really fucking good. You have the Panthers, right, that are going to be here. The Lightning, they're still here. The Maple Leafs, they're going to always be competing. And then you're going to have to compete with the Red Wings that are going to do everything. They're going to try to make the playoffs. The Senators are going to try to make the playoffs. The Canadians are going to try to make the playoffs. The only team that's on the downward swing is the Buffalo Sabres. So, buckle up. It's a lot harder this time around, and you're going to have to do more. So, yeah, I'll start off with a D for the Sabres.
You know what? I'm gonna actually go a step further and say F, because it's been the same old story and they've done nothing to improve it. It's like watching it's like watching somebody try to climb up the down escalator.
Gonna go with Spencer. Gonna agree with Spencer here.
F.
I mean, they just don't get better.
All right, Nick, what do you give them?
I will give them a D, but I mean, simply put, it's just, at what point does it get better? That's all you gotta ask if you're Buffalo, if you're a Sabres fan. Like, at what point does it get better? Because this is just ridiculous. And you know, the front office can cry about palm trees all they want. This is inexcusable, and I'm tired of. I would be so dejected if I was a Buffalo hockey fan. Because simply put, what really tells me is of how pathetic the Buffalo Sabres are is that literally you could recently, and I'm shifting this just quickly to wrestling. Recently, Monday Night Raw was in Buffalo. They were in Buffalo, and one of the best ways you can get heat from the crowd, one of the best ways you can get heel heat from the crowd is making fun of sports teams. You want to make fun of sports teams in Buffalo? You know what everyone did? They poked fun at the Bills. You know why they poked fun at the Bills? Because the Buffalo Sabres are that fucking sad.
All right, Spencer, heads or tail?
Tails never fails, baby.
It is tails. The Sabres go into the F.
Ba-ba-boo!
Sabres go into the F tier, but yeah, Sabres.
Because you
shut
can't
up about
Buffalo
palm trees
without them.
and actually build something for once. I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah. It's getting embarrassing at this point.
I think we're beyond that.
Okay, well, Calgary only. I like this.
I was just
It's only 3. I love it. Spencer.
All right, the Calgary Flames. Where we get some desperation showing, baby. Except maybe not. They could be sneaking into the playoffs like a fucking house guest that won't leave. No matter how many times you shoo them away with the broom, here come the Calgary Flames. We got first off, they send Jacob Markstrom to the New Jersey Devils for Kevin Ball and a first rounder. I think that's pretty cool. And then they send Andrew Mangiapane to the Washington Capitals for a 2025 second round pick and presumably a plate of he was a rigatoni and gabagool. I'm sorry. Why am I like this?
No, you're good. You're good.
And then the most recent trade was a trade with the Philadelphia Flyers, in which they acquired Joel Farabee and
Morgan Frost.
Sorry, something dropped. That's why I stopped. Joel Farabee and Morgan Frost, and in exchange they send over to Philadelphia Andrei Kuzmensko, Jacob Pelletier, a second in 2025 and the 7th in 2028. Which, like, fucking why? I've never understood why they attach draft capital like that insignificant. Like was the Philadelphia GM like, no, I won't take it, and then Calgary was just like, yeah, but what if? Oh my god, is that a 7th in 3 years? Well, now we can't say no.
God, I love draft picks like that. I love looking at faraway draft picks that are even in more faraway rounds. They really are beautiful.
I feel like, like the ghost of Rick Spielman lives on.
That he does.
What about your thoughts, Luke?
Here's the thing. Anytime you do, because they sell off Jacob Markstrom because Dustin Wolf is a fucking beast. You get assets and then you flip those assets around. You send contracts off to really bolster your team. So something that's I really like what they've done, but I'm still anytime you can do a mass sell-off and still be in contention for the playoffs to buy, then I think you're doing something right.
Whoa! Time out. Is that a light rail line coming into right where this office would be? Fucking jackpot!
Oh yeah. I don't have much to say about Calgary. Like, it really says more about how Calgary has done this season, because I don't think anyone was expecting them to, be this close to possibly making the playoffs, which, pretty impressive for Calgary, and considering the expectations they had this season. I mean, the Flyers trade they made is obviously the most notable one. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really have much to say about the moves from Calgary here.
Yeah, much like how the Calgary Flames don't really inspire much in the way of talking. Like, they're not a very interesting team, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fine. I find.
Now, I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. I actually do have things to say about this. Morgan Frost was an experiment under Torts. A lot of Flyers fans liked him. A lot of others didn't. People thought he had too much time. Others thought he didn't have enough. Kind of like Kevin Hayes, actually. When he was traded, I think most people were on the side of going away being a good thing. He just never panned out. And from what I've heard, he hasn't exactly done great in Calgary either. I think Farabee's done a little bit better, but he's struggled a bit too. So I'm not sure if those two will be able to be sustained. Will be able to be part of the Calgary Flames rebuild as time goes on, and they might be used for trade bait down the line, depending on how they gel as time goes. It's a short sample size. So I do have to wonder if Morgan Frost is ever going to live up to that potential that he was originally hyped as when he was a Flyer.
I mean, I like what the Flames have done. The question is, though, they got to get out of their slump, though.
Yeah.
Kind of need to be out of that slump. And it's just purely because of that slump. They might not be ready yet.
Yeah.
But I think for what their earlier trades, I think B-.
I was going to say C+ for Calgary plus the Flames.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
C+.
I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go with C+ too. They didn't really do anything massive. They didn't really do a big sell or do a big buy. They just did what they needed to do. They're sustaining themselves. That's really all they need to do right now.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I think people, just to go on a little tangent, I do not think rebuilding necessarily has to mean tank. You do not have to blow it all up unless it's that dire. I think the Sharks a few years ago were one of those teams where things were so dire that they had to blow it all up and start all over. Whereas a team like the Flyers was more held back by bad management and coaching. They didn't really have to blow it up, and they're kind of just rebuilding from the talent they do have. Same with, I want to say the same thing with the Utah Hockey Club, actually. They don't need to blow it up. They haven't really blown it up because they've had those core pieces for years, and they've been rebuilding around that. The Blackhawks were another team that had to absolutely blow it up because of the entire scandal that I don't want to get into because that's been years gone by. But that, long story short, things were so bad for them that they had no choice but to blow it up and start all over. They had to tank.
And of course, we all know the controversy is that, John Tortorella once ordered his cheesesteak whiz out.
Long story short, though, tanking should only be used when there's really no other option. If you can rebuild without having to tank, that's good. That's honestly a very good sign.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say about that.
So, one thing that I really hope that happens for the Flames is, like, especially when it comes to, is that they go improve upon things. Because, like, the thing is that their ceiling needs to be much higher. Like, they did a really good job at selling things off, but, you know, they gotta do more, I find. Because I feel like they're really missing a superstar. But they're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, let's proceed. You want to move on?
Yes!
Yeah.
I have the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks acquired picks 18 and 50 from the Islanders in exchange for 20, 54, and 61. They acquire second-round pick Ilya Mikheyev, the most accurate shooter I know, and Sam Lafferty for a fourth. They get a first and send 2 seconds to Carolina. They send Ryder Rolston for future considerations. They get Dmitry Kuzmin and send Isaac Phillips. The big one is they send Seth Jones and a fourth-round pick, acquire Spencer Knight, and a conditional first-round pick.
That's me.
They get Joe Valino, and they send Peter Mrazek and Greg Smith. And they send away the contract to Shea Robert, Victor Solerstorm, and Aku Ratti, and get a 5th-round pick. I don't know what the Blackhawks have left to sell anyways, but the big W is they get a first-round pick and Spencer Knight, and all they have to do is send away Seth Jones.
Oh man, getting Seth Jones out of Blackhawks and getting that contract out, that pretty much gives them an A rank by default. Default.
Spencer, can you hand me the basketball hoop again?
Yeah, sure. I got you. I'm making it right now. Making it right now.
Okay, thanks. Slam dunk. And this is like the best trade dip. He's like,
ow, my arm. You're fucking.
Sorry, I don't know my own power, my own strength yet.
Clearly not.
sorry. I'm sorry. So, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You gotta work on that, man. You gotta, like, attend PT or something.
I'm sorry. You know, I just...
Yeah, well, that's, well, Spencer and Luke settled that out. Yeah, I still can't believe they got a first for Seth Jones. I'm still amazed that happened, and the fact that you did that, you also got Spencer Knight, who, you know, you really kind of have your goalie situation in a really good spot for as many holes the Blackhawks have on their team. Goaltending is now not one of those issues. Like, it's a really the best trade they could have gotten here, and the fact that they managed to do that for the contract that Seth Jones has, yeah, that's that was really all you needed to have a strong deadline if you're Chicago. The only big player that was really left on the table for the Blackhawks was Ryan Donato, but apparently I heard that the offers for him wasn't as strong as they were anticipating, and that is why he eventually just didn't get moved at the deadline.
Yeah, they're looking at extending him, I hear.
Yeah, in that case, if you're not going to get a great return, you know what? Considering how well he's been doing, an extension wouldn't be a bad idea.
100%. This was a great deadline for the Blackhawks because you get a franchise goalie and a first-round pick. A. That's an A.
Yeah, and they were able to get rid of some contracts through the Hornets.
Yeah, A by default for that Seth Jones trade.
That's an A.
It's an A.
That's an A.
This is a deadline. This is a deadline the Blackhawks have desperately needed.
But
I don't know what else they have to sell after that. Even then, they also got rid of Taylor Hall too. He wasn't helping.
And also in this deadline period, they got rid of something else too. They got rid of that thunder cunt Rocky Wirtz who allowed rape to happen in his organization.
It's just a matter of time before they're in the process of building. It's just the thing you're building is you just so happen to have the next greatest hockey player on your team. You just need to. I think as soon as the Blackhawks find the yin to his yang, oh, watch out, Central Division. Connor Bedard's going to be dominating. But the one thing to note too, starting next summer, we're going to see what this first big boy contract is like. Because next year, he's going to be on his last year of his entry-level contract. And seeing how franchise-level players, the amount of money that he could sign for, it could be, I wouldn't surprise me if it's over $10 million.
Won't surprise me.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to tell Rocky Wirtz to eat shit.
Indeed. Correct. Indeed. All right, we got the Colorado Avalanche.
Wait, hold on, did we skip Carolina?
Yeah.
What the fucking hell? Sorry. Spencer, you...
dumbass.
Yeah, it starts with Kuznetsov.
All right. Wait, no, that's the first deadline.
Oh shit. Sorry, I thought that said May. Okay, it starts with this one.
So first off, they acquired two second rounders by sending their first to the Blackhawks. Ooh boy. And then they send Jake Gensel over to the Lightning for a third rounder this year, and next week they followed up by sending off Dylan Collin to the Winnipeg Jets for somebody who is honestly the GOAT. Future considerations. I've seen his highlight tapes. This kid is going to be something special. put some respect on Future Consideration's name. Next up, a huge blockbuster trade between the Colorado Avalanche and the Carolina Hurricanes, in which they send Jack Drury, Martin Necas, a second this year and a fourth next year, for Mikko Rantanen, Taylor Hall, and Niels Juntrop. And also the Blackhawks acquired a 2025 third rounder from the Hurricanes for retaining half of Mikko Rantanen's salary. Good for them. And then, the baby gloves came off, and then they sent Mikko Rantanen to the Dallas Stars for Logan Stankoven, a first in 2026 and another first in 2028, both of which are top 10 protected, and a third in 2026 and a third in 2027, which, holy cow, what a return on investment. And finally, they throw a bone to Nashville, quite frankly. They send a fifth over for Mark Jankowski. A little bit of a charity case, like, just like, here you go, guys. We feel bad for you, so here's a fifth for Jankowski. And I'm assuming that's the end of the deadline?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I gotta say, holy shit.
That Mikko trade, man. That
was really good.
Yeah.
Like, that was really well done. Like, here's the thing. Unfortunately, I mean, the loser in all this is Mikko Rantanen, because the Canes did offer $13.25 million.
Yeah.
He turned it down. He wanted 14, but he takes $12 million with the Senators. Stars.
Yeah.
One thing I gotta say, this is a perfect return on investment. Like, you get Logan Stankoven, who, by the way, is only 21, right? 21?
Yep, 21.
He's only 21, and he's got
22.
potential to be, like, a really elite/franchise player. And you get two for a great return on investment. You fleeced the Stars.
And I love to see that as the resident Stars hater.
Mm-hmm. That's an A deal in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's an A for A. Please come to our games.
Please come to our games. Noah, Nick, what do you guys think of this?
God damn, there were some fireworks being thrown off. Absolutely. Like, good Lord, Carolina, you wanted to cause some chaos and make everyone, not just me, but make everyone stay up last night because everyone was waiting for that trade to go through. Everyone's screaming that one SpongeBob scene where he tells Mr. Krabs to go to bed. He wants to go to bed. That was what Carolina was doing to the entire hockey landscape last night. But anyways, yeah, this is a great deadline for them. Obviously, Carolina, you want to have great talents like that on your team. But if you're not able to keep great talents like that on your team, best thing you can do is get a great return for them. And guess what? The Hurricanes more than got a great return for Mikko Rantanen. So, yeah, this was a strong deadline for the Hurricanes. Give them an A.
Yeah, dare I say this was a brass bonanza of a.
Honestly, what's funny is that I think for a while, Rantanen was actually doing worse than was it Nikas or Nichas?
Nichas.
Yep, Nichas. Yeah, I think Rantanen was actually doing worse than Nichas, as Nichas was really going for the Avs, and I think he still is. So I think them trading Rantanen for Stankoven might have been needed for both parties. I don't think Brandon was. I just don't think Brandon would have fit as a Kane. He just didn't look very good.
Come on, man. No need
fair.
to call
What would you
him
give
ugly.
him?
So yeah, I'd probably give it like I'd probably give it an A. A minus maybe.
We're all in agreement. The Brass gets an A. Excellent job by them. Now we go to the Columbus.
It's a Brass trade.
We go to the Columbus Blue Jackets because I hate the C's so much. All right.
Honestly, the fact that they're still in wild card contention, I think that's admirable for them because they're doing it for Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly tugs at my heartstrings.
It
Legit.
does.
I really want them to make the playoffs.
I want them to make the playoffs. They're having really great season all around. But just imagine if they had like Johnny Gaudreau, which is just only breaks my heart that much more. But only 4 trades to note. They send Alexandre Texier. They get a 4th. They send Patrick Laine in a 2nd. They get Jordan Harris. They send David Jarek in a 5th. They get Damon Hunt, a 1st, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 2nd in 2027. And they acquire Luke Kuhn and send a 4th round pick. This year could be a mirage, but at the end of the day, this year is for Johnny Gaudreau. In terms of a trade deadline, you're kind of in the same tier as you're not really in a position to buy. You're not in the position where you really need to break open the vault for a whole lot. But you're not in a position, you don't want to sell either because you're going to make the playoffs. So, the season's for Johnny Gaudreau. I'm happy. Hopefully, you should be able to maintain form. It's just going to be a dogfight to get there. I would have liked them to add a little bit more to solidify the playoff spot, but at the end of the day, the goal of this season was not to make the playoffs, so you get a little bit of a pass. You get a little bit of a pass this year. It's not your year yet. If you miss it, this year's not your year. There are other teams that are nipping at your heels.
And while we're here, please, every senator out there, please, for the love of God, fix our country's bike infrastructure, please.
Or just don't drink and drive.
Fix the infrastructure and don't be a dumbass behind the wheel, for the love of God. It is 2025. It should not be this complicated, but unfortunately, society makes everything complicated. But regarding the Blue Jackets, there's not much you could really do here. This season's for Johnny, and the fact that Columbus is in a playoff spot right now is truly incredible. It's amazing to see. I really hope they make it in, regardless of how far they go or not. The fact that they're even in consideration of being a playoff team with how they played, the fact that they could actually make the playoffs, considering just the absolute tragedy of what they've had to go through leading up to this season, it's amazing to see, and I'm glad for Columbus.
Letter grades, I give them a B-.
I give him a B.
B sharp.
I do a B.
B sharp doesn't exist as a note.
Well, shut up!
Do we put above or below Utah?
I'd say above.
Yeah, I'd say above.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
I'm going 2 of 3 said above.
Yo, this... What a name for a company. Just... Chicago Dryer Company. What do you do? Dryers.
Company.
Hey, hold on. Wait. Before we get to Dallas, we haven't done Colorado.
God, I hate the C's! There's so many C's!
Honestly,
I know.
I give it an A+.
Guys,
Nick, this has been a gem.
Yeah, Folks, this is MaskedAura. He's triggered by the letter C. Like,
no, because it's not you. It's literally in any sense of like I hate it so much because like when I do the Chaos League, I always make a I always miss one of the teams that start with the C. It happens every fucking year, and I hate it.
I'm just saying, you watch Sesame Street with like your niece or your nephew. They say it's brought to you by the letter C, and he starts screaming uncontrollably.
Start frothing at the mouth. Visions of Brad Tree living walking to my head. Anyways, I'm doing the stars, or you did?
The Avalanche.
God,
I think Spencer can do the Avalanche, and you do
I
stars.
can do the Avalanche.
Okay. Right.
I'd be too much of a hater about the stars. All right, so
we start here, I believe.
Yep. So, June 28th, 2024. That's where our story starts. Where the previously mentioned Utah Hornets get a first for sending off a second, 2 seconds, and a third, and then they trade again just a month later with the Ottawa Senators sending off a 6th-rounder this year for next year's 7th, and Kevin Mandolese nuts. Then we go over to October 6th, 2024, where they acquired Tucker Poolman and a 4th-rounder, so that Vancouver can get Eric Brandstrom, of which the Canucks retain 20% of Poolman's salary. I'm sure we'll get into Luke's thoughts on that trade when the time comes. And then we see Justus Anunen and a 6th-rounder head off to Nashville for Scott Wedgwood. That was right around the time when people realized, oh, Nashville sucks now. And then Colorado, they strike again in December with sending Alexander Georgiev, Nikolai Kovalenko, a 5th-rounder in 2025 and a 2nd-rounder in 2026 for Mackenzie Blackwood, Giovanni Smith, and a 5th in 2027. And then as we inch towards the new year, we get Andre Pavel and a 3rd-rounder in 2027 headed to Nashville again. And then they get in return, they get Juuso Parssinen for a 7th next year. And then the big one, which we already discussed, getting Drury and Neckus and a few picks for Mikko Rantanen, Taylor Hall, and Niels Juntrop. Honestly, I'll save my opinions for later. Scroll up because there might be more after the Islanders one.
Fuck, you're right.
So next up, they acquire Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, and Hank Kempf. And in exchange, they send Calvin DeHaan, Juuso Parssinen, aka the guy they just got from the Nashville Predators, conditional 2nd and a conditional 4th. The Rangers will receive the better of their own or Carolina Hurricanes' 2nd-round pick, and they will also receive the better of the Vancouver Canucks or Colorado Avalanche's 4th-round pick, and the Rangers will retain 50% of Ryan Lindgren's salary. And, do not take this medicine if you are allergic to it. And then another big trade, they send Oliver Kylington, Caleb Ritchie, 1st-rounder next year, and a conditional 3rd in 2028, of which we don't know the conditions yet, for Brock Nelson and William Dufour, which, wowzers. And then the previously mentioned Charlie Coyle trade. And then they also acquire Eric Johnson from the Flyers for Giovanni Smith. All that and a Diet Coke, please.
Hot damn! I mean, I can't wait. The Colorado Avs and the Dallas Stars playoff game, that is going to be good. Like, can you imagine if that's a round one playoff match? Like, this,
obviously, you can guess who I'm rooting for.
The Nuke.
No, the Avalanche.
Oh.
Because they're more like our older brother, and you know they, as much as they like give us a noogie and stuff, it's just like all the good fun. Whereas the Dallas Stars are like that dickhead across the street who stole your bike.
Your favorite team in Chaos League is the Chicago North Stars.
Listen, shut the fuck up. I have in my hand an Xbox 360 keyboard adapter. I will shove that thing up your ass if the Chicago North Stars win another Stanley Cup. So help me God.
They haven't won it. Look, just because the Chicago North Stars ended up winning the first initial Chaos League with just like the base players that they got, doesn't mean you have to be so mean to them. They haven't won the Stanley Cup yet. Your player hasn't even landed on the Chicago North Stars in history.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, you've won 3 Stanley Cups in a row playing on the Maple Leafs with Aiden and fucking Martin Brodeur and the Rocket Richard.
Yeah.
Either way, go fuck yourself.
But yeah, for the Avs, here's the thing. I will say this. Way to sell off somebody who thought they were hot shit. And they're going to be very damn good this time around. The only concern is they sent a prospect in Callum Ritchie, who is right now a can't-miss prospect. So maybe a little bit of an overpayment on that, but they're loading up and they're ready to strike again.
Oh wow, that job is like right there. Nifty. Nifty Swifty.
Yeah, I love this trade deadline for the Avalanche. This is an amazing trade deadline for them. I mean, the fact that, one of their biggest problems early on was their goaltending was far from the best. Well, they ended up fixing that instantly by getting Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood. That seriously fixed their goaltending issues, and the Avalanche have really been playing great hockey really since, they've been starting to make these moves, and after, the trade with Carolina, you get Brock Nelson just yesterday. You got Brock Nelson. The Avalanche have made a lot of great moves for a team that is looking to get back into that Stanley Cup picture, and they have the team to do it this year. This is probably the strongest Avalanche team we've seen since that Stanley Cup winning team, and I feel like this trade deadline was more than a big enough success for Colorado. And yeah, I mean, y'all said it best.
Well, it wasn't poor for the Avs per se, but their goaltending was non-existent to start the year. So it's also impressive that they had this kind of deadline and they're back to being a cup contender after how it all started.
On God, for real.
Like, they once were almost starting an AHL level hockey team, but the fact that they didn't give up on this year, and they looked at the round, they go, you know what, we can still win this Stanley Cup, and we can be aggressive buyers, and they did just that. I mean, we're gonna start grades. Fuck, they get an A+ in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
I give them an A+.
I give them an A for Avalanche. You can proceed to shove me in a locker as you please.
We all give them an A+. Alright, next we have the Dallas Stars.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
All right, the Dallas Stars. We start things off by sending Ty Danilia, getting a 4th round pick. They go and send the rights to Chris Tanev. They get Max Ellis and a 7th. They send Radik Vaska and get future considerations. I hear he's a hot commodity. They send Sharks a 1st round pick and a conditional 3rd round pick for Cody Ceci and Mikkel Granlund. The Sharks' 3rd round pick in the 2025 will be if the Dallas Stars make the Stanley Cup Finals. The Sharks will receive a 4th round pick that originally belonged to the Winnipeg Jets if they do not make to the Stanley Cup Final. And this one, the big one this morning, they send Liam Stankoven 2 firsts, 2 thirds for Mikko Rantanen. Yeah, what the fuck are you guys doing? As much as everyone's going, oh my god, Stanley Cup favorites! I'm like putting my glasses down and going, what the hell did you send the Hurricanes? You got robbed! Cause like, imagine if Mikko Rantanen does not live up to that contract. That could be a thing that sets the Stars back years ahead, whereas you rather just could have done nothing and kept Logan Stankoven, who probably was a Mikko Rantanen.
Personally, I'm gooning to their downfall. You know, just like straight up edging.
I mean, Cody Ceci's also a weird acquisition. Sure, Mikkel Granlund is kind of nice. But, Stars, I really think you kind of blew your load and you really didn't do much. All the expectations is if Mikko Rantanen can perform. Because if he can perform to that elite franchise level, oh, you're fine. If not, well, Spencer's gonna masturbate to your downfall.
Yeah, and quite frankly, you know, like, the second Norm Green, that old fuck croaks, I will be using that as a gender-neutral bathroom.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely agree that it is an overpay for Rantanen. I do agree, completely agree. That is an overpay, and it does show that, hey, this is an all-in push by the Stars, but it is an all-in push for a reason, because they're trying to win a Stanley Cup. They've gotten to the conference finals the last 2 years, and they've gotten knocked out in both of them. So you really want to make the finals. You would love to win the Stanley Cup Finals. Absolutely, if you're the Dallas Stars. And granted, I really do love the Mikkel Granlund trade by them. I think that was a great trade for them to get. I mean, Dallas is going all in. I completely get what the Stars are doing here. I completely get what they're going for. They're going for that all-in push. They want to win a Stanley Cup. It's more just how I look on this now is much different from how I would look at this if the Stars aren't able to clinch that all-in push, if they aren't able to take advantage of that. Because right now I look at it like, well, they're making that all-in push. Go out there and do what you gotta do. But if you don't do it, because this feels like a great year for the Stars to finally do it, if they don't do it, then, well, you're gonna face the consequences of those draft picks you gave up. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I give this deadline for the Stars an F for fuck Norm Green.
C plus.
Honestly, I don't think I can really grade this one until we know how Rantanen does.
Yeah, that's just the thing, though. But I'm gonna give it. You know what? I have an idea. I'm gonna give it an F because Rantanen just didn't mesh well in Carolina, and he gave 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and a player that probably would have been much better than Rantanen. So based on that, I'm gonna give it an F.
I'm honestly gonna give it a C plus. If it's if it works out, then probably I would give it an A minus. If it doesn't work, I'd give it a D minus. So I'm gonna balance it out right now and give it a C plus.
I mean, honestly, for me, if it works, I give it an A. If not, then well, yeah, it's gonna be a lot lower. But I'll give it like a B plus. That's my thoughts because I get it. I get the all-in push. I get
So
what
do
they're
I.
doing. But it's more just like, will it work out? That's the thing. Will it work out? And if it does work out, well, great job, Dallas. You did what you had to do.
So
if
like,
not, then yeah, that's
here or
be a bad
here?
fallout.
If the job is expired, then why the frick are you posting it?
So would we do here, or here?
Ahead of the Ducks. Actually, put them in Super F.
Head of the Ducks, okay. I think here. I think here, yeah. I think here. I think here's pretty equal. But yeah, no, I think they overpaid for used goods. Alright, the Detroit Dead Wings.
Oh boy, something I can talk about as somebody who works with people who are Red Wings fans. Let me a real quick reenactment of their deadline performance.
Oh, I get it. They did nothing at all.
Yeah, unless you really consider adding Peter Mrazek to that bloated ass goalie room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not much here.
But like you're in this weird, because like it's like almost I can almost defend it as like it's where you're not really in a position to buy, but you can't sell either, and you better make. And if you're Steve Yzerman, you pray to God that you can make the playoffs, because if you don't, you're fired.
By the way, fuck the McMahon family, just real quick.
Oh yeah, true.
True.
Definitely, very true. It is just, I don't know, the Red Wings are in such a weird spot, because it really says a lot to how bad Derek Lalonde was, the fact that Todd McClellan has managed to get so much more out of this Red Wings team than it felt like Lalonde ever was able to, but it also feels like the Red Wings have a very noticeable ceiling. And I do wonder if, recently we're starting to see that ceiling get hit, where it feels like the Red Wings aren't a bad team per se. They're not a bad team by any means, but they have a ceiling, and they're just... The best way to describe the Red Wings is they're not bad, but they're not good enough.
Yeah, they're mid. Oh, fuck you! I'm not applying for this. I literally attached my resume, and they want me to fill out what is basically my resume again.
Fun! Yeah, the Ducks, you did nothing, but I kind of get it, but because of that, you gotta have the balls to buy to make the playoffs, so... Yeah, honestly. You gotta buy to make the playoffs. Other than that, you just add to your bloated goalie core. Okay, you get Peter Mrazek because he's like might be your fourth best goalie. Okay, but like no picks. C minus.
Oh boy,
man.
a third for Oli Mata. Wow.
Wow,
I
you
give it a
don't
D
say. For the love of God, figure it out. C minus.
I give it a D for Detroit as well, and also, yeah.
E plus. You gotta do more. You gotta do more than that.
Nick.
I also said D for Detroit.
Okay, we'll do. The consensus is D for dictionary. Edmonton Oilers.
All right. I think it's your turn, buddy.
They get Matthew Savoy. Oh, they swap first round picks for some reason. They say they get Matthew Savoy. They say get Ruby Giovanti and a fourth. They send Xander Borgart, Jack Chason. They get a fourth round pick for getting Vasily Podkolzin. They get They send future considerations. They get a third and Paul Fisher. They get Ronnie Atward and send away Ben Gleason. They send Noel Hafenheimer and get Jacob Parnault. Then for this week they get Trent Frederick, Mac Jones, and Peter Hauser. They send Max Wagner, second and a fourth, and they get Jake Woolman, and they send a first and Carl Berglund. They load up that decor, which needs to be better. They have to try to bounce back from their slump. But, good job of adding. Yeah, hopefully it's enough, but I think they should shoot higher and try to get a goalie. I really think, they got to look at the goalie market. I think they need to try to get Gibson. I think that's what they should have done. They need to swing big for the fences here and get a real goaltender, because they have a decent one, I guess, but I think they really need to take a major swing and get an actual goaltender for the team.
Yeah, Skinner's fine, but I feel like they could use another one, and Gibson would be very sufficient in that role, but obviously defense for Edmonton always needs work, and yeah, Wallman's a good pickup, though I think San Jose is more than happy to take that first round pick away. Regarding the Oilers, it's a fine deadline, but I agree they could have done more, and that seems to really be the consensus I've seen from Oilers fans, where it's like, it's a fine deadline, but it's fine.
One thing I want to add too is they've done a really good job at working their middle six. Like a fourth for Vasily Podkolzin. Talk about a fleece. That's a fleece, man. I get why that trade happened, but again, a really good fleece. You get Matthew Savoy.
Lugerfeld.
Really good. I think they did really good. And you know what?
Ew.
I like what they did. They are a team they really did really good, especially they're pretty cap restricted on stuff, so I think they did a good job. I think deadline not so great, but for overall trades this year, I think they did really good. Because I don't think there's really much you can do for adding an absolute blockbuster.
Yeah. Grades, I give them a B.
B?
Really, the problem with the Oilers has been their on-the-ice product. I don't think the front office has really made any major mistakes.
Yeah. And hey, I haven't heard 1985 mentioned once with these guys, so that's a big step forward.
Mm-hmm. I'll do B. Yeah, I'll do B.
I'll do B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B plus actually.
B plus. So over the Blue Jackets?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The Florida Panthers. Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right. So the Florida Panthers.
Oh wow. It's all recent too.
Yeah. It's all within the week. Our story starts pretty recently. In which they acquire Seth Jones and a fourth rounder next year for Spencer Knight and a first rounder. They send away Spencer Knight and a first rounder next year, which, chat, I think that's a bro moment. I think that is a bro moment. And then they were like, oh god, what have I done? I've made a huge mistake. So they get Vitek Vanacek from the Sharks for Patrick Giles, and then they go back to the well again because I guess they realized, oh shit, we need a forward. So they get Nico Sturm and a 7th in 2027 and send a 4th rounder in 2026. And then the big staker. They get the rat boy himself, rat boy genius Brad Marchand, for a 2nd rounder in 2027, which becomes a 1st in either 2027 or 2028 if Florida wins 2 rounds in the Stanley Cup playoffs and Marchand plays 50% of the team's playoff games and Boston retains 50% of Marchand's salary, which is what an up and down deadline.
They said a goalie that has starting potential, you get a backup, you add a forward, and then you add Brad Marchand. I hate this. Here's the thing: they knew what to do. They're ready to play. They have the perfect team to counter the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. They did a perfect job. And the thing, like the salt in the wound, like the only thing that I'm going against, I'm like, God damn, you took on the Seth Jones contract? Okay. But it kind of balances up because holy shit, you get Brad Marchand. Oh no. They could run a whole rat line and I'm just going and going, man. As happy as I was to see the downfall of the Boston Bruins, it's now been replaced by the upswing of the Rats in Florida. Come on! They're going to be really good. I hate it here in this division. I hate it here. I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it. I hate it. I think it could have gotten more for Spencer Knight, but you know what? You get Brad Marchand, and even if you get bounced out of round 1, oh well, we paid a 2nd round pick for it. Oh no! Fuck off! You only... Fuck off! I hate it! Anybody else want to add anything?
Say the line, Bart!
Oh my god. Yeah, you want to talk about a true roller coaster of a deadline. That perfectly describes the Panthers here. I mean, yeah, you definitely overpaid for Seth Jones, but hey, you know what? You balanced it out by getting Brad Marchand for a second rounder. You know what? You balanced it out perfectly. That is some fine, very fine work from the Florida Panthers in making the NHL trade deadline as interesting as humanly possible. So, I think the NHL should be patting the Florida Panthers on the back. They should be giving them as much flowers as they need to give, because you know what? They provide a quality entertainment here.
And I hate it here. I hate it here. You know, if the Leafs somehow do make it to the Eastern Conference Final, it's gonna be earned, damn it! It's gonna be earned! But anyways, grades, I give him an A-.
I'm giving them an A. Full send A.
I'm giving them an A too.
I'll give them A-.
A-. We put him below or above the Hurricanes?
I'd honestly put him up. You know what? I'd probably put him below. I think Nate Justice has just been much better.
Yeah.
God, I don't remember the local job market being this dry.
Oh, the job market is like.
Really,
even I'm just trying to find something that's like non major commitment. I can't even get in on Skip the Dishes. I have to do grocery shopping for people. It's like DoorDash. It's the Canadian version of DoorDash. Like I can't even get in on it. I'm trying to find something that's like low commitment, because if I get called in, at my current place of employment, I rather would work there.
No, not that even. Not that. Just the fact that it's like I'm applying for drafting positions. Like Minneapolis, I'm finding jobs. Milwaukee, I'm finding jobs. Remote work, I'm finding jobs. Chicago, I'm finding jobs. Grand Rapids, dry as a fucking bone, dude.
Oh, I see. All right, we got the Kings, and we got we get sending Darcy Kemper and sending Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Never mind.
They send Kyle Burrows and they get They get Kyle Burrows and send Carl Gunderson. They send the first round pick to they traded down in the draft, and then they get Tanner Janot for a fourth and a second. They trade Tyler Madden and get Joseph Santoni. Nope, for Tyler Madden, former Canucks prospect. They get a third round pick they sent a third round pick to the Flyers. They get Kuzi and a 7th round pick. Again, I really feel like the Flyers need to, they did good with the goalie. They really did good getting Darcy Kemper.
This is the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings.
You said the Flyers.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Sorry, my mental dyslexia kicked in again.
You have to forgive him, folks. We're actually working with an AI translator that translates from Canadian to English.
Oh shit! I was supposed to buy a React bot. Fuck.
It's okay. React bot is free.
I was gonna buy the first 2 packs. They were like $7.
I actually have React bot on my computer. If you want me to somehow send that over.
No, that's fine. I was gonna get React. Fuck, that's why I forgot to get React bot because I was gonna ask React.
You know what? That's perfect for. You know what? I'll ask React bot. See what he has to say about. What? All right. So we go here to downloads, and then React bot, and then click here, and then. All right. What do you want to ask him about?
Hey React bot, what do you think of the Los Angeles Kings trade deadline?
He says amazeballs.
Wait, what did he say?
He said amazeballs. Hang on, I need to fucking share my screen. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, hold on, I gotta look at this. Oh my god, that's too funny.
Alright, and just... Alright, React bot, yeah, how do you feel about, the return that Winnipeg got from Pierre-Luc Dubois?
What a bozo.
Thanks, React bot. Anyways, what do we think about the Kings trade deadline?
This is way more interesting.
Here we go. Yeah, that kind of sums it up. I mean, for the Kings wise, that's good. You guys got Darcy Kemper, but you're putting me to sleep with what you did.
Pussy in bio.
No, you can't say that anymore.
Anyways, C+.
Yeah.
Have fun losing to Edmonton in the first round again.
Yeah, I think C, the C range is, C is like a good grade for them, because it's like in all seriousness, it's like, look, I get what the moves the Kings have made. They're fine enough moves, but it's like, man, I feel like the Kings, they needed to do more. Like, they're one of those teams, we said for other teams here, but they're one of the teams that really needed to do more, because it's like, the Kings' biggest problem hasn't been that they've had good or bad teams. They've had good teams. Their biggest problem has been they can't get past Edmonton. Like, seriously, they keep losing to Edmonton every single year in the playoffs. And it's like, you're at the point where it's like, listen, you can have all the good seasons you want. If you can't get past Edmonton, it's not going to matter, because from the way things are looking, looks like you're going to be playing Edmonton again. So, good luck with that.
No, Nick. Losing to Edmonton again.
Yeah, losing to Edmonton again. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to give them a C-. No! Super F. I think they get the dishonorable Super F this year. Because look at what teams, like other teams in the NHL are doing just for the playoffs. You have to do that, Kings! And your refusal to do that is just embarrassing year after year. I'm going to give them a Super F.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a C, probably with Nick.
Alright, probably a D.
Reactbot, what grade do you give the LA Kings?
Go off, King.
Thanks, Reactbot! Go off, King. Thanks, Reactbot. Alright.
Chat, do we have a new member of the sickos?
Alright, Spencer, you're up with the Minnesota Mild.
Oh my god. It is time to talk about Minnesota, baby. And we're going to get our start June 21st, where we trade Adam Beckman to the New Jersey Devils for a man by the name of Graham Clark, who I think is pretty interesting, even if it is a little like butcher blocky. And then we move up in the first round in the NHL draft and send our third this year to the Philadelphia Flyers. And then we send Vinny Lettieri and a fourth rounder in 2024. Actually, it's more of a fourth rounder swap. And we get Jakub Lauko, who we will talk about later. And then the big one is that we get defensive prospect David Jiricek from as well as a fifth this year in 2025 from the Columbus Blue Jackets for Damon Hunt, first this year, a third next year, as well as a fourth next year, and a second in 2027. And then in February 3rd, we have Sammy Walker, who I think was just okay with Iowa, and we send him off to the Hornets for future consideration. I'm gonna like hold my tongue, make sure like who do we get from that future considerations. Like that's gonna be my determining factor of whether I think that was a good move or not. Tyler Madden to Joseph Ciccone, I don't hate. I think it is important to have some bottom six centers, and I think Madden will fill that nicely. And Ciccone was kind of excess goods on our defense with guys like Carson Lambos and, obviously Jonas Brodin, the big one. And then March 1st, when we get into the actual meat of the deadline, we send a second rounder next year for Gustav Nyquist, which I thought he played right wing, but according to TSN, he plays center, which with Joel Eriksson being out for a while, that makes a lot of sense. And then we pick up Justin Brazeau for a sixth rounder next year, and Marat Kuznetsov, as well as Jakub Lauko, who I guess was only here as a rental, in the most true of sense. We treated that motherfucker like somebody, like a DVD from Blockbuster, if any of you people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then it looks like the final move was us sending kind of a low-end prospect, Reese Johnson, to the Leafs for future considerations, which reminds me a lot of when we sent Connor Dewar to the Leafs. You know, he was kind of backed up, but then, you know, we just sent him to Toronto for some goods, I guess. Is there anything more than that?
Nope, that is all.
Okay. Just for the future, when we're reading that, if you could, when you get to the last one, you could scroll up to where it says NHL Trade Tracker.
That's what I thought. It might have been like this. Like
yeah. So yeah, my bad. Anyway, my thoughts are, we kind of didn't do too much, but out of what we did, I like what we did. If that makes any sense, like Bill Guerin played his cards about as well as you can for a year, where you know you're just patching up some stuff for injuries while Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson Ek are out, and you know, as much as Ryan Hartman is a meme, he's not good enough to replace those guys. I expect a lot of bigger moves when free agency hits, but I like the moves that the Wild have made now, because, you know, I've seen a lot of people on Wild Twitter, particularly under Michael Russo's Twitter account, saying, Colorado and Winnipeg and Dallas did all these moves. Why aren't we? Because, dude, the iron isn't hot yet. Now would be, like, way too early to strike. I mean, take a look at the 2021 Diamondbacks if you want proof as to what happens when you try and pull out of a rebuild too fast. And quite honestly, we're strapped for cash until next year, because of what the Parisian Suter contracts are currently doing to us. We get a lot out from under those starting next year. So it makes sense why we only go for like low-end rentals in the meantime, while we don't really know, like, you know, like what the team is going to look like going forward.
I mean, the thing I want to say about the Wild is it's a little bit perplexing, in all honesty, because the thing is, you have the unfortunate thing of where, unfortunately, I have to compare and contrast to what other teams in your division have done, and you kind of need to now look. You got Kirill Kaprizov. He's absolutely amazing, and you guys were starting off absolutely incredibly well. I think you should have been done more and tried to buy in on a lot more guys, because kind of the thing that, like, because my philosophy really changed. I watched the video from the Steve Dangle podcast, and it's like, why are you saving your lottery ticket for a guy when you could be aggressive now?
Well, simply put, I don't think we have the money to be aggressive right now.
I mean, I'll give him a little bit of a pass this year, but like next year, like the Utah Hockey Club is only going to be better. The Avs are going to be the Avs. The Stars, if this Mikko Rantanen trade works out, yeah. And you will also have the Jets that are not going away, that we think are going to go away, but then pull shit like this. So it's only going to get harder for the Wild.
Oh, for sure, it's going to get harder. I just think that for this year, for this situation, I think Bill Guerin did the right move, and you know, he said it himself. He said, "We don't want to do any more moves if we want to see Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek on the ice this year, because otherwise we're having to fiddle around with LTIR bullshit, and that's stinky, man." But ReactBot, how do you feel about the Minnesota Wild?
Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel. Damn. That's one hell of a reaction. All right, I'm gonna give the Wild. You'll get a pass for now. B-.
Yeah, I think a B- is appropriate.
You know what I think the real winner for the Wild is though this year? John Hines. That dude has been pretty much one of the big laughing stocks of the hockey world for the past couple of years. His disaster in New Jersey. He's struggled in Nashville. Pretty much the only thing he's been known for has been bald. Also, the empty net goal he forfeited to the Knights, I believe. Knights or Predators?
It was the Knights.
Yeah. This is the year that he really needed. He looks like his former self again.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure John Hines is doing the Todd Howard meme of who's laughing now.
Yeah.
By the way, I also give the Wild a B-. I feel like, it's a situation-wise where it's like the Wild the time is not now. The only thing I will say that I think many agree with, including Spencer, is I get why they trade for Nyquist. I think a second rounder is definitely an overpay for Nyquist, but I do understand why they made the move.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said in the DMs, where it's like, I liked this deadline well enough. I just think we paid too much for Nyquist.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, that was before I learned that these guys have him listed as a center, which kind of makes it make a lot more sense in my head, because if there's one thing I feel like the Wild have lacked, it's a proper center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fair. All right, the Montreal Canadiens.
Folks, he's gonna say it in French.
No. French is not a real language. Anyways, they get a fourth for Jonathan, whatever that name is. It's probably French or something. I don't care. They get Patrick Laine in a second. They send Josh Harris to the Blue Jackets. They send Jacob Pernault, and they get Noel Hafenheimer, and they send Carrier for Justin Barron. Patrick Laine got hurt, right?
Yes.
D.
I'll give him an F for French.
Actually, fuck yeah, honestly, I'm done for that.
What do you have to say about Montreal?
Now, this content.
Never gets old.
Yeah, I'll follow suit. I will do the funny. I will give him an F in French.
Yeah. No, what letter grade are you gonna give him? Noah?
Huh?
What are you gonna give? See, that's my reaction to the Canadiens trade deadline. What are you gonna give the Montreal Canadiens? What letter grade?
Hang on.
They didn't do anything.
They really didn't do anything. You know? I have to wonder if they actually needed to.
They are 1 point out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're 1 point out of a playoff spot. They have been god-awful for so many years due to trying to relive the past of that 2020 Cup run. They're not trying to do that this year. I don't think they're doing it this year. I think it's because they're trying to focus on culture. I do not think they need I do not think they needed to do anything this year. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year, but they could make it next year through developing the chemistry of the core that they have now. They can make moves in the offseason. I'm going to give it a C. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think they're building for the long term.
Okay.
I don't know.
3 of us did give him an F though. For French.
Like, this doesn't. I don't think that this is not. This deadline shows that they're not going to make a push for the Stanley Cup, but it shows that they're confident where they're at. And honestly, with the way they've played, I think I'm going to put my trust in them. They didn't really need to do anything. This isn't like the Buffalo Sabres. This isn't like the Buffalo Sabres where they needed to do things and they didn't, and they're clearly completely lost. The Habs clearly have some sort of identity forging, and making a massive trade in the deadline would kind of go against it.
Yeah, it's fair. I agree.
Also, real quick, Noah, I gotta say, it sounds like you're getting a lot more confident in your voice, and I'd love to hear that.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah! We got the National Predators. They did a bunch of stuff, but they're still... you know what?
They suck ass.
They suck, but they did get a first-round pick from...
the Penguins, I believe.
From
the Sharks for Yaroslav... Arsharov. And,
my turn.
Yeah, off-season champions can kiss my ass. But they didn't do anything. They did jack shit at the deadline, so...
Hey,
the
hang
only
on.
big thing they did was trade for Bunting.
Whoa!
And Bunting hasn't even been that great.
Spencer's got to read some stuff out.
Yeah, buddy, I think you're jumping the gun here.
I know, it's just because there's so much.
Yeah.
All right.
So much.
So we start off all the way back in May, where they send Ryan McDonough and a fourth to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a second in this year and seventh last year. And then we jump a month forward and they send Ozzy Weisblatt. No, they get Ozzy Weisblatt, which sounds like the name of some kind of an animator or something. They get him from the Sharks in return for Igor Atanasiev. Then we jump 2 days, count them, 2 whole days, because brother, it's about to get crunk up in this mother. Where they acquire Andrew Gibson from the Red Wings for a second rounder and Jesse Kliskinen. And then, oh boy, we get the bonanza between Nashville and Pittsburgh, where 2 trades happen in one. Oh wait, no, never mind. Jordan Frasca to Nashville for Cody Glass, a 2025 third from Minnesota, and 2026 sixth rounder. Then a whole bunch of Flotsam and Jetsam. They acquired David Edstrom, Magnus Krona, and a first rounder from the Sharks in exchange for Yaroslav Askarov, Nolan Burke, and a third rounder in 2025. And then they send off to Philip Tomasino for a fourth rounder in 2027. They send off they get Ryder Rolston from the Blackhawks for future considerations, and then 3 days later they followed it up with sending Scott Wedgwood to Colorado for Justus Andanen and a 6th round pick in 2025, and then they go on and send Alexander Carrier to the Montreal Canadiens for Justin Barron, and that's so you can tell it was a deal with Montreal. And then December 28th they send Juuso Parssinen and 2026 7th over to the Avalanche for Andre Pavel and a third in 2027. And then a big trade between them and the Canucks. They got Mark Friedman, and Vancouver Canucks gets the elite future considerations. And then an acquisition from the Golden Knights where they get Grigory Denisenko in exchange for the GOAT future considerations. I don't know how this guy keeps getting traded. Is he like a locker room cancer or something? Anyway, yeah. And then next up we get them acquiring Jesse Ylonen from the Tampa Bay Lightning for Anthony Angelo And then the previously discussed Gustav Nyquist trade, where I think they got a good return, considering how old he is. A 2026 second rounder. I wouldn't be upset with that. And then next up we get the Pittsburgh Penguins at it again, dealing with Nashville. It's like it's almost like Dubas and the Predators. It's almost like Dubas and Trotz just like talking to each other, and then the bosses walk in and are just like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And it's just like, we're discussing a trade, sir. So the Predators get Michael Bunting and a 4th rounder, and the Penguins get Novak and Shen to cover their tracks. And then finally they send Mark Jankowski to the Hurricanes, and they get a 5th in 2026 in return. Did you get all that?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
This is why you don't hang the banner for off-season champions, because who wants to buy those god-awful contracts?
Yeah.
But also, I feel like Barry Trotz doesn't want to move off of those contracts because, sure, you're a great coach, but a terrible GM.
Well, here's the thing about old coaches like that becoming GMs. They get attached to certain players. I imagine, like, in his mind, he's thinking, Gustav is not that old, Didn't we just trade him away to the Wild? I mean, of course he's gotta fetch a player like that. Oh shit, he's 37.
Yeah.
I think it's that, but it's also, I think it's philosophy and all that, something along the lines of what a coach likes to do, and if they become a GM, chances are that's the type of stuff they're gonna want to have on their team. They're gonna want to have their style on their team, and I feel like Barry Trotz built a team that could work under Barry Trotz's coaching. The problem is Barry Trotz isn't the head coach, he's the GM. And I'm quoting what Tree said here because I think that's the perfect description of a lot of what has gone wrong for Barry Trotz as GM of the Predators. Because it just feels like, it felt like, it was making moves where it's like it really catches your attention, but the problem is it's just with Nashville, none of it has just worked out. Like, none of the moves the Predators have made have worked out, and it's just...
Yeah.
It's a damn shame, but it has led to a lot of laughter.
Yeah, well, speaking of laughter, let's move on from one YouTuber to another YouTuber, ReactBot. How do you feel about Nashville?
Check please.
What does that mean?
No, because think of it like how bad those contracts are. You just want to send a check to those and just move off of them, am I right? He's got a certain philosophy to it.
Hey, ReactBot for GM.
I agree. Hey, ReactBot, can you be a GM for the Nashville Predators?
Yo, bro, I'm so confused.
It's a bit of a hit and miss. But I'm going to give him a D. Because D for don't make trades or don't sign anyone.
Yeah, I'm giving it D as well.
I'm giving it
as well.
I'm giving it a D for damn Daniel. ReactBot's lines.
That's a funny line. Alright, we got the New Jersey Devils, and oh, thank God it's all on. I don't have to do much scrolling. Fuck,
Yeah,
I have to do it. No!
Devils, huh? Oh man.
They did a lot of work They got Jacob Markstrom, at first, and Kevin Ball. They did a minor league swap. They get 2 seconds, and they send John Moran a 5th round pick to the Utah Hockey Club. They get Paul Cutter in the 3rd. From the Vegas Golden Knights return, they send him Alexander Holtz and Akira Schmid. They get a 4th from, they send a 4th and get Jonathan whatever from the Frenchies. Alright, fast forward to today. They get Brandon Duleman, they send a 2nd and Heron Taff. They get Cody Glass and Jonathan Gruden. They send Chase Stillman, Max Graham, and a 2027 3rd round pick. They swap Adam Beekman, and they get Dennis Klosky. They get Daniel Sprung for a 7th round pick, and they get Mark McLaughlin, and they send Daniil Nasul. Not bad, but it feels like they need to do more, because those who have heard the news, Jack Hughes is out for the season.
Wait, really?
He is out for the season.
Oh boy, that's a problem.
Yeah, you're lucky their division is absolute dog shit and they should make the playoffs, but I don't expect them to win it.
Yeah, not only is Jack out for the season, but Dougie Hamilton's gonna be out for a while too.
Yeah.
Oof!
No longer teaching people how to Dougie.
This doesn't vote my bint.
Yeah, this trade deadline for the Devils is like there's some moves. I mean, getting Markstrom last year was a great move by the Devils, but when your most notable moves, considering what you're dealing with right now, are Cody Glass and Daniel Sprong, that's not going to inspire fan confidence, and it's probably not going to surprise anyone when I say that Devils fans are pissed right now. They're not having a good time.
Yeah. Reactbot, what do you have to say about the Devils?
I just failed my try not to laugh challenge.
Okay.
Damn! Okay! Holy shit! It's laughing at the demise! They have fans! Good God, Reactbot! They have fans! Holy shit! Well, despite laughing at your misery, I think you gotta do what you can do. C+.
Yeah.
I'll give him a C.
I feel like they give off the vibes of that one team that always is like, oh, they're an early exit, and then they stun the hell out of the world.
They could do that. They could, like you said, their division is weak enough, and like your first round opponent is the Hurricanes. That's doable.
Yeah.
No, what do you think? What do you use your grade for the New Jersey Devils?
Just a reminder, what did you guys rank them?
We got 2 C's and a C minus.
Honestly, I gotta give them the hard luck award because, oh man, nothing they can really do is gonna save much of their season right here. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I honestly feel, even as a rival, I honestly feel bad for them. I'm gonna give them a C. Fitzgerald, he's been controversial around the Devils landscape, but I honestly don't think he can really do much here. Not when their star player is hurt now for the season, and not when the other huge is also hurt and might not be healthy for the rest of the year. Stiegenhalter is hurt, Dougie Hamilton's hurt. What can he really do?
Not get hurt.
Right to the injury guy.
Is this implying that is this implying that Devils are so badly cursed that Fitzgerald himself could get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, they're named the Devils after all.
Fair enough.
Right, hey, Reactbot, are the Devils just cursed?
Unironically, the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
How is it possible?
God!
You know what's funny? Well, not funny. It's very tragic actually. Both the Sixers and the Devils have been dealing with injury woes after a very promising preseason that made us think they could be something really special. They are both owned by Josh Harris.
Hey, Reactbot, are the Washington Commanders going to be cursed this upcoming football season?
Yes.
What?
No!
Check.
Washington fans, I deeply apologize.
No!
The curse of
No!
Jaden Daniels,
Spencer, what have we done?
Don't blame me, blame Jack's films. Go to his house.
No, not our fault. This is not our fault.
Yeah. If Washington, oh god, Jaden Daniels is gonna tear his ACL. Oh no.
Oh my god. Oh my.
React bot, Jaden Daniels is not going to tear his ACL, is he?
React bot, please.
Jarvis, remove their legs.
No. Well, chat, you've heard it here first.
Oh my god.
We just cursed the Washington Commanders. What have we done? Oh, no.
I love how we're the only ones who would know. We're the only ones who know about this. That's what makes it better.
Take this to our graves.
This is newfound Sicko's lore we got right here.
All right, let's go on. Let's go.
You're right.
What's up next? Okay.
We have the Rangers. They did a lot.
The Rangers.
Hey, look! It's the Minnesota Wild. Hi.
Oh no.
Anyway, let's scroll up to the July 1st.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get things started with Riley Smith heading over to the New York Rangers from the Pittsburgh Penguins for a second in 2027 and a fifth in 2025. However, oh wait, no, that's just salary retention. Penguins retained 25% of Smith's salary, and then later that year, they sent Jacob Trouba over for Urho God damn it. Finnish names, man. They are my downfall. Urho Vakanainen for a 2025 4th round pick. And then we get into the real shit where they send Capo Caco over to the Seattle Kraken for Will Borgen and 3rd and a 6th this year. And then they deal with the Lightning by sending Ryder Korzak over for Lucas Edmonds. And then a big deal with the Vancouver Canucks, which I'm sure our resident Canucks fan will be way more than happy to talk about for his segment. Where the Rangers get JT Miller, Jackson Dorrington, and Eric Brandstrom, while the Canucks get Philippe Chati, Victor Mancini, and
It's Philip Chytil.
Philip Chytil.
Philip Cheeto.
Philip Cheadle, Victor Mancini. Mancini! Obviously, Mancini wants to work with Aquilini! And first rounder in 2025, which is top 13 protected in 2025. If the pick falls in that range, the Canucks will receive the Rangers' 2026 first round draft pick, which will not be protected. And then March 1st, they do another deal with a lot of conditions where they send Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, and Hank Kempf over to the Colorado Avalanche. Meanwhile, the Rangers get Calvin DeHaan, Juuso Parsonen, conditional 2025 second, and a conditional 2025 fourth. And for the Rangers, they will receive the better of their own or the better of Colorado's or Carolina's second rounder, and they will also receive the better of the Canucks' or the Avalanche's fourth rounder. The Rangers will retain 50% of Ryan Lindgren's salary. And then Riley Smith gets over to the Vegas Golden Knights for Brendan Brisson and a 2025 third round pick. Luke, could you scroll back down real quick?
I could hear him running.
A little bit more? Thank you. So essentially they traded a 2027 second rounder and a conditional fifth rounder, scroll up again, for for a few months of Riley Smith and Brendan Brisson and third rounder, which is property of the San Jose Sharks. And, the Rangers are retaining 50% of Riley Smith's salary, which means, if my math is correct, the Vegas Golden Knights are only paying 37.5% of Pittsburgh's original salary. And then they send a third rounder this year over to the New York Rangers. Specifically San Jose's third rounder, which they previously acquired from the Riley Smith trade, for Carson Soucy. So essentially, they traded a second in 2027 for Brendan Brisson and Carson Soucy, which I don't know if that's a good deal or not. I think that's a bit of a reach, but who am I to judge that? And then finally, they send Eric Brandstrom upstate for Nicolas Aube-Kubel.
There's an accurate theme for the Rangers here, and that is they were quite aggressive in trying to do everything they could to improve this team. Guys like Philip Hedl and Capo Caco believed that they deserved roles and deserved a top 6 role or a number 1 power play role. And kind of the thing about it is, if it works, hey, it's great. But like the thing is too, like they were once like 8 points out of a playoff spot. They're tied, but Ottawa has a game in hand. I see the Rangers as a team that is probably could overtake the 3rd spot. I like what they've done. They get JT Miller at a reasonable price. I don't have really much complaints at what they've done here. I mean, I think they did a really good job at addition by subtraction. The only thing that sucks is that they let go of 2 young guys who have. One of them has proven him to be very well for the Seattle Kraken. The other one is more of a wait and see. But if you look at this from the Rangers standpoint, if you make the playoffs, I think the higher seeding they get, the better the moves. The moves all made sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, and thankfully we have our top form of analytics here, ReactBot, to really make sense of what to do here as far as like how do we make sense of all these. ReactBot, how should we feel about the New York Rangers?
There's a whole mood right here.
It's kind of true, actually.
Thank you very much, ReactBot. Regarding the Rangers, I mean, yeah, it sucks to trade Cheeto and Kako away. It does suck to lose them, but at the same time, JT Miller has done very well for the Rangers since he got traded there. And you said how it feels like the Rangers are, they're making that big push. This really feels like the last big push by Chris Drury, because I feel like if the Rangers don't succeed here, if, God forbid, they don't make the playoffs, chances are Drury's getting fired. Like, I think that's a fair thing to say.
It works. If it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, you might as well go out swinging.
Let's do letter grades, and then we're gonna do the lightning round until we get to our teams, because it's getting a little late.
Good.
So
get it, lightning because lightning. Tim from Tampa. Funny joke. Laugh.
Anyways, what are we giving the New York Rangers trade deadline grade? I'm gonna give them B+.
Yeah, I'll go B+.
I'm gonna go with B.
B+ wins. All right. We're only going over significant major trades. Only major note trades. They send Brock Nelson, William Dufour for Oliver Klingleton. They get a can't miss prospect in Callum Ritchie, a first and a conditional 3rd-round pick. I'm pretty sure that's a bunch of stuff attached to it.
And that automatically gives them a C, because they have done absolutely nothing regarding the trade deadline for so many years. I legit thought they were going to stand pat and try to run again for no reason.
Yeah, I like how they get Callum Ritchie. I think he's a really good prospect. He's pretty high on a lot of people's lists. He probably could be with them in a year or two. But, like, outside of that, they didn't do much. See.
By the way, remember Bo Horvat? Remember the Bo Horvat trade to the Canucks? Where the heck has Horvat been? I barely.
Yeah, he's been. Because the thing is, they needed like an elite scorer on the team. They don't have it. They've never had it. They've been this team that's been able. You run 4 lines. Sure, it's a good 4 line, but like you don't have that elite player.
Reactbot, how do you feel about the Islanders?
Bro looking like an iPad kid.
Yeah. I'll give him I feel like for the Brock Nelson trade, I'll give him a C+. It's just, I'm at the point with the Islanders where I see the Islanders as one of the NHL teams that could really use a rebuild. Because it's just not working.
They're a meh with an exclamation point.
A meh with an exclamation. Okay, we got Ottawa Senators. They made a trade with the Sharks, and they did lots of things in the offseason. They also got a starting goaltender from the Boston Bruins, sending a first-round pick. They get Dylan. They reload their top 6 to get a second round. They get Dylan Cousin, Dylan S. Gilbert. They send Jacob Bernard-Docker and Josh Norris. I like that they try to shuffle their top 6. But they're gonna have to do. I felt like they had to do. If they really wanted to make the playoffs, they're gonna have to do a lot. They had to do a lot more. I give them like a C minus.
Yeah. Reactbot, thoughts on the Sens?
We love a redemption arc.
Ooh.
Did they really redeem themselves?
Honestly, they fleeced the Sabres. That's huge. They got some good players out of that trade.
I guess we can call that a redemption arc. Thank you, Reactbot.
Yeah. That bumps me up to a B minus. Reactbot, you made me see the light. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give them a strong
It's
B.
official.
I think that's fair.
This video's epic.
All right.
Yeah, this stream is epic. Reactbot says.
Thanks, Reactbot. B minus.
Yeah.
All right. Noah, you're up. You got the. You can go into detail about the Flyers, and let's see.
All I can say.
Oh, goody!
Man.
Oh
Finally.
God. Okay, good. Okay, right here.
I don't think enough people understand just how much of a disaster that 2023 trade deadline really was. That whole JVR fiasco where it looked done, it felt done, it was all done, and yet Fletcher could never get that piece to move, and it just set the franchise back, man. It was so bad. And it pretty much put Danny Briere in a pretty much a lose-lose situation that he's been trying to scavenge out of for several years. The rebuild has not made much progress over the years. Yeah. It's hard to blame Danny for it. He's inherited an utter mess.
I'd like to welcome you. Can I welcome you to?
You go.
Can I welcome you to the Chuck Fletcher victim support group class? We meet every fourth Saturday. We have lemonade and peanut butter cookies for you.
Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Fletcher all around. He's a good guy, and he did give us Owen Tippett, and Rasmus Ristolainen has been a surprisingly really good player for us. But man, he just sucked most of the time as the GM, as the acting GM.
Show me on the franchise where he hurt you.
A soul. Alright. First and foremost, the Farabee and Kuzmenko trade. The Farabee and Frost trade. Yet finally managing to move on from that prospect, Morgan Frost, who was just never able to deliver. Kuzmenko was actually really surprisingly good for the little time he was here for, and I legit thought he was going to stay here for at least the end of the year. Trading him to the Kings honestly was a bit of a catch. Didn't see that coming at all. I think the big one, though, and I think the one that really elevates this to an A trade, in my opinion, finally getting rid of Lund. And I love Lund. He's a great player, one of the best vibes on the team. But but for years, the Flyers wanted to move on from him. They wanted to trade him. And they were asking for high prices, a first-round pick, year after year after year, and nobody bid it. I legit thought that Lawton was going to stay here another year. I honestly was taken aback when he got traded. And not just traded, but for a first-round pick. I think a conditional first-round pick. Years down the line for sure, but the fact that there's one at all is huge. It's the first time where the Flyers really look like they're going in an actual direction. They still have their pieces for the future. Travis Konechny, Owen Tippett, Tyson Forster. There's, of course, Matvei Michkov. They also got rid of Ryan Johnson. I think he went to where did he go to? Where did Ryan Johnson get traded to? That's the trade I forget. The Avs?
Ryan.
I have the Flyers trade on. They traded Eric Johnson to the Avs. What were you looking for?
To the what?
Ryan Johnson.
What were you looking for?
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
So basically, let's see. He, the Sabres? Or am I thinking of a different Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, how do you spell his name? Well, I know it's Ryan Johnson, but how do you...
Ryan, I think... Wait, hang on. It's,
Don't you mean Eric Johnson?
Did I say Ryan Johnson?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Oh, you
Eric.
mean Eric Johnson. Yeah, he's in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, you got him for Giovanni Smith.
Apologies for that, Eric Johnson, if you're listening to this. Yeah, I'm surprised that he got traded at all. Have you heard what Buffalo Sabres fans think of him? They hate the guy. His defense was constantly some of the worst in the league. Honestly, people were confused if the Flyers got him at all. The fact that they traded him for prospects, that's honestly a pretty refreshing surprise. The big thing is, though, that the Flyers are finally getting rid of those albatrosses that Fletcher put them in the first place. It started when TDA was finally traded, and it's just gone on from there. There's finally room to breathe for the Flyers, and that's something that just hasn't happened since the aggressive retool was such a disaster. I really do think this is the best trade deadline the Flyers have had in so many years.
Like I said, the support group is always open for you.
I'd give this one an A. Maybe a B+, A-, or an A.
I think B+, yeah. I like B+. I think you guys got
B+.
I'll do B+
because
I like what the front office did to get Michkov.
Yeah.
Right,
They did phenomenal jobs. Yeah, B+.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd give it a B+.
React, what do you think of the Flyers?
I will also give it a B+. I mean, aggressive retool, it is not, and that is a good thing.
Yeah. React, Bot, give your thoughts on Flyers.
Bro, straight up mogging me.
No. No.
Huh.
You tried your best.
Okay, and quick summary of the Pittsburgh Penguins. They low-key aggressively sold off what they could. They now have a really nice haul of draft picks.
Yeah, of course they do.
They did Kyle Dubas. As much as the Pittsburgh Penguins have been a disappointment, you got a great haul of prospects. I think a great haul of draft picks. I think the next goal step for them is to trade Sidney Crosby, and it's all on if Crosby wants to go to a contender.
I say this is the best year the Penguins have had since 2006.
Yeah,
My God, they're finally bad. It's a freaking miracle, and we still can't win the season series against them.
Yeah, and quite frankly, Noah takes solace in the fact that the most annoying drunk Yinzers are very unhappy that this team will not hoist the Stanley Cup for years.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a while before they're back into really competing in playoffs. This is like the first starts of a rebuild.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But it's really been time for the Penguins to do this. Many years overdue.
Yeah.
So for the Penguins to finally do this and at least get some good return, that's something always welcome if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, I will say, this was a good deadline for them. I'm kind of distracted because they just lost 4-0 to the Golden Knights and they got shut out by Samsonov.
Ah!
Freaking Sammy?
That's my boy Sammy, man. There you go. There you go, buddy.
All right, Reactbot. What do you think about the Penguins, my guy, my hombre?
Catch my down vote.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's a down vote for Reactbot.
All right, so B+ for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put them right next to the Flyers.
Don't worry. No, we're gonna put. Do we put them above or below the Flyers?
Do not put them above, I swear to God.
Yeah, but the geography, Noah, the geography.
Hey, Reactbot, do we put them above or below?
Do not.
Work smarter, not harder.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Jack, okay, Reactbot. Above or below?
This has Vine energy.
Shut up.
Okay, I really did like Vine, so I think I have to put them above. No, I'll keep them where they are.
That's fine.
I'll keep them where they are. Alright, we got the San Jose Sharks. They continue to sell whatever it is they can.
I think Aiden is watching you.
I think we talked about this in the preamble for the trade deadline.
Yeah.
The extremely controversial Zetterlund trade. Let's get into that first. What do you guys think of that? Some people think it was great. Some people think it was awful.
I'm kind of mixed, but at the end of the day, like, the Sharks have their top 9 in their prospect system. It's just a matter of them just getting older and more on ice experience.
Oh, game over. GG, Luke.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Canucks Wild.
Oh, don't tell me this.
You'll enjoy it. You will get to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I will watch like 4 p.m. games, but like if it's after if it's 7, I'm just gonna watch it the next day. So if you see people tagging me in like your server, just tell them to untag me because I haven't watched the game yet.
Nobody uses my server.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's like sometimes I get tagged from a Jared, and I'm like, the guy's great. The guy's fantastic. Good dude. I just don't want to be spoiled.
No. My server is mostly just. I was just kind of jealous of everybody else having a personal server, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own.
Dude, your server's gonna be popping one day. It's gonna be popping.
It's like that one Family Guy joke where Joe Swanson has his own TV show.
Do you want to know what the answer for our server apparently was supposed to be? Apparently the answer was fucking Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Listen. You gotta search to find what can work, and hey, we did it.
It's just Fire Emblem. I don't know anything about Fire Emblem.
But yeah,
we're a sports server. They're talking about Fire Emblem.
Yeah, by the
Anyways,
way,
Sharks, they sell off what they can, B.
Yep.
I'll give it a B, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
It's
go
lost Celebrini, and that's automatically a plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much all I can say is, that, and also, the Aiden Federation and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Reactbot, what are your thoughts on the Sharks?
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, it's Jack, Reactbot, do you think it's tough being a part of the Aiden Communist Federation?
Emotional damage.
Holy shit! What the fuck, Reactbot? Oh my god, I'm gonna pee!
React pack for next stream because
okay. I gotta buy packs 1 and 2 just so we just got a bunch more stupid nonsense.
Yes, and we can have him like in the corner.
Oh my god!
This is the best.
Brilliant. This is revolutionary. This is brilliant.
We literally cursed Jaden Daniels with this thing.
And it acknowledged how cursed the Aiden Federation is. ReactBot, you alright, man.
Yeah.
Listen, the sickos keep finding ways to reinvent the wheel.
Holy shit! Alright, let's get about the Seattle Kraken. We fleeced motherfuckers! Yeah! That's all I got. Kappa Kako has been a delight. Very good trade acquisition. They got a really great return for Brandon Tanev, Bjorkstrand, and Yanni Gord. Like, 2 firsts, 2 seconds. We get a great potential in Capo Kako. Sucks to lose Will Borgen, but good shit, Kraken. Good shit. Like, it's just the course. We're ahead of the Sharks in terms of a rebuild. We'll get. There'll be a moment we're just gonna bide our time. It's gonna take a bit. Their time will come.
If I may interject on this, that's how boring this damn trade deadline was for Detroit. I didn't mention that they were involved in the Yanni Gord trade.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Look,
anyways,
Kraken get an A. You want proof? Look at that trade for Bortstamp. Look at that trade.
I give them an A+. They did better than the Avalanche. They're almost there. It's coming. Their time to strike will come soon. We just need Capo Kako, Shane Wright, and Beniers to mesh well together.
All right, ReactBot. How are the vibes of the Kraken?
Did that just happen?
See? Yeah, see? That did just happen!
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, ReactBot.
Kraken have kind of been a disappointment this year. I thought they'd be better than this.
I did too, but they also lost, they had, was it? Jordan Eberle, Jared McCann, and Yanni Gord out for long stretches of the season.
That's true.
I think just because of that, and they had to have the disasters behind the net of, ReactBot, how bad of a clock is, good lord, what's his fucking name?
Grubauer.
Philip Grubauer. ReactBot, how bad of a clock is Philip Grubauer?
Using AI, I've determined that this video is epic sauce.
That doesn't help.
Wait. So, ReactBot, you're saying that Philip Grubauer is about to enter the greatest redemption arc of all time?
Nah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, on Noah's point, I agree that the Kraken have been big disappointment, but you know what? When you are big disappointment, sometimes the best thing you can do is sell, and the Kraken did the right thing here, and they got just an absolute jackpot of a return.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, and also the acquisition of Capo Kako gives me a big ol' A+.
Yeah.
A+ is all around?
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah! Fuck off!
All right, it's your turn.
Boy.
Oh, we already. He said the vibes are.
No! It's not one of those streams. No. Spritz.
ReactBot, no horny.
Yes,
Bro really thinks he's woke.
Horny be gone.
Horny be gone. ReactBot, do you think the Seattle Kraken have gone too woke?
And even.
You can't even with how woke they've become.
Alright, the Blues. Honk Shua. Sleep on that thing. D.
I'm kidding.
ReactBot. Give us
Really, I think the biggest win the Blues have had is not even with one of their players.
Yeah.
And this is another thing Boston really screwed up on in hindsight, and also get right at the start. It wasn't Montgomery's fault the Bruins were so bad, but they fired him, and the Blues have reaped the rewards.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
But because they didn't do much, see?
Yeah, they're the perfect C tier.
Yeah.
They're. I keep saying this, but they're like the perfect resemblance of like somebody who smokes cigarettes. ReactBot, what are your thoughts on the Blues?
Talk about a life hack.
So he's saying Jordan Bennington. He was an absolute life hack for the world, dude. They might win the Stanley Cup. So Reactbot, are you saying that Jordan Bennington's gonna channel his inner Dominic Hasek and dominate the playoffs?
Bro, how do they do that?
I know.
All right, Blues to the cup. Put your money in now. ReactBot says.
Yeah, Blues are gonna win the Stanley Cup. Lightning, your ass just got fleeced from the Seattle Kraken. Get fucked. But
Wait, hang
also,
on. Did the Penguins really just get shut out by Ilya Samsonov?
Yeah.
Say
Wow.
me. Say me.
Say me. But I gotta give them I'm gonna give the Tampa Bay Lightning a B plus. I think they did really well They did really well aside getting fleeced the fuck out of. They have the most terrifying top 9 in all of hockey.
Yeah.
I'm scared to face the Lightning.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But-
think B is appropriate.
They ridiculously overpaid for 2 bottom 6 forwards.
Oh, that's true. So maybe bump him down to a B minus.
I give him a B plus. I give him a B plus.
I'll do B.
B?
B minus.
B minus? Noah?
Yeah, B minus.
B minus, okay. Behind the
wait,
Oilers or
what?
behind the Blue Jackets?
Behind the Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets, okay.
ReactBot, how do you feel about the Lightning?
Couldn't me.
Jax, hey, ReactBot, do the Tampa Bay Lightning have a very scary top 9?
What the Sigma?
He said it! They're all Sigmas! Alright.
Okay, here we go. Turn your volume down, folks. Here it comes.
It's late. It's a little late. Just pretend Jax, hey, ReactBot, can you scream Brad really loudly?
Bro, I did not expect that.
Neither did I. Well,
I'll do it for you.
Here's the thing. The Leafs had to do it. You have to match the Lightning and the Panthers editions. And they did just that. The only part I'm really sad at is we had to lose Fraser Minten, who's going to be in our top 9 next season. But this is the price you have to pay for Lord Stanley. I have to be all for it. I have to give him an A. They had to. As much as I hate it, they have to.
And they also gave up a first.
They did. They gave up 2 firsts, but you know what? This was a seller's market. I'm giving them an A because they had to.
Okay.
Before I give my thoughts, ReactBot, what are your thoughts on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Now this is epic.
You think they're epic?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thanks, ReactBot.
You know what? It gets the ReactBot state of approval. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know what? Listen, yeah, fucking Boston wanted to do some good ass trolling, but you know what? Toronto is kind of in the well, fuck it, we kind of have to do this mentality. They really are.
I'm gonna give him an A minus. I'm gonna give him an A minus. I'm gonna put them above Boston, but I'm gonna give him an A minus. What do you guys think?
I'll give them a B.
B.
I'd say Leafs. I give a B plus.
B plus, yeah, that's what I meant. B plus.
Noah.
I'll give them a B plus. Well, I do have to wonder how they thought that Glotton was worthy of a first-round pick.
If Yanni Gordon, Oliver Bjorkstrand fetched 2 first, this is a buyer's market. It's everybody overpaid. That's kind of the logic. Everybody was overpaying for everybody. Alright, we're in the home stretch! Fuck, it's the Vancouver Canucks. Alright, I'm gonna make this simple. Super F.
Alright,
JT,
Wow.
did you guys
That
know? I do know of one goal that happened in the hockey game tonight. Elias Pettersson finally scored.
well, good for him. I wish I could score.
And no, it's not the defenseman Elias Pettersson, it's EP40. He finally scored, you guys. Do you guys want to know that since being traded, JT Miller's still a point per game, whereas Elias Pettersson has got about 7 points?
Wow, that's bad. React bot.
Yeah. Not to
React
mention, this team's not going to make the playoffs. Why are you fooling yourself? You're not going to do anything in there. And again, apparently, from what I've heard from Brock Besser's camp, from our wonderful favorite Canucks insider, and my favorite man, TSN40, god damn it, I forgot his name.
React bot, can you tell us what his name is?
World Star.
He
I
is
guess
like
he's
World
World-
Star. It's not Farhan Lawry. Good lord, who are these? God damn it. Okay, I gotta fucking search up mutuals of Blake Price and Matthew Sakaris. Oh god, how do I forget him? He's like the best Canucks insider. He's got his own show. Should be on like Sportsnet, but he's really good. God damn it.
And Sportsnet is the antithesis of good.
They are. How does bro not follow Matt Sakaris? What the fuck? Okay, JPads.
Did you mention this name during like the Canucks video?
Yes!
Okay, I'm trying to think as to who it was.
Rick Dollywall! There we go.
Yeah, that's who.
There we go, Rick Dollywall. I like Rick Dollywall. I really enjoyed him when he was on TSN 1040. He's got his own show on Czech television from 10 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday with Thomas Drance, who also used to be on TSN 1040. I like the TSN 1040 guys. They're pretty cool. But Rick Dollywall is a really great insider. From him, they're not even close onto a deal yet. Brock Besser wants term. The Canucks are not really looking to give that right now.
Oh my god, I have the funniest fucking tweet to reference as far as the Brock Besser situation. Oh my god, oh my god. Did I send it just to you, Luke? Yeah. Patrick Alvin said, quote, "If I told you what I was offered for Brock Besser, I think I would have to run out of here because you would not believe me."
Yeah, I don't think they got what they wanted from Besser. And kind of the logic behind it is if the Canucks can't extend him in time, I think he's going to be going to Minnesota.
I'd like that. I mean,
Spencer would love that. But, like, for the Canucks, right? Like, you lose JT Miller, you lose Brock Besser, and now you're stuck with Elias Pettersson and a Filipino who's trying to make your top 3. What do you do? Right? Like, you have 2 starting goal. Like, it's going to be an interesting offseason for sure. But for trade deadline, trading away a core piece of the team as someone who's been described as a heart and a soul for a player who needs to be coddled like a fucking baby, who, honestly, I would rather trade Pettersson because he really just needs a change of scenery. I'm giving the Canucks a super F.
Yeah, React bot, give us the lowdown on the Canucks in the way that only you can.
Behavior on both sides.
both sides of the...
This guy, he's so wise.
Yeah. Run it down for us plebeians who...
Reactbot, are they going to sign Brock Besser?
Let's give it up for the real heroes, reactors.
Okay, no need to.
Guys, I don't have a good feeling. Anyways, what do you guys think about the Vancouver Canucks? What grade would you give them?
I'm giving them a super F because the vibes are all wrong. That is what I get from the Canucks. All the vibes are wrong, and it does not make me feel well when I have to talk about them because it feels like I am having to touch them with a 10-foot pole because I can sense the toxicity, the nuclear waste, the radioactive vibes from them whenever I talk about them. That's what I get from this Canucks team.
Yeah. I'd have to say, big stinky.
Super F, Spencer?
Yeah.
Noah,
yeah.
what grade are you gonna give Noah?
I believe you cut off.
Oh, Noah, what grade are you gonna give them?
The Canucks?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with all you guys. Super F.
Reactbot, do the Canucks deserve a Super F?
Bro, that's wild, man.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's where Brock's going.
Too.
That's where Brock's going.
This is the second trade deadline the past 3 years. I think they get a Super F. Remember when they bought 2 years ago?
They did. What did we get? Oh, look at what we gave the Canucks. Because God damn it, I had
To be fair, it did pay off next year. So
yeah.
How could I know?
Yeah, I think it was a C. They got an A last year, but they get a Super F this year. Anyways, Nick, you're up with the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh my god, that just reminds me of that.
Oh wow, they only did
expansion
4 trades. I like this.
It is time to shine. It is also a great representation of why the thumbnail features a sleeping Golden Knight. But yeah, so the first trade we traded away Logan Thompson to the Washington Capitals. In return, we got a 2024 third-round pick from the Islanders and a 2025 third-round pick from the Capitals. Following that up, we traded away Paul Cotter and a third-round pick in 2025 to the New Jersey Devils for Alexander Holtz and Akira Schmid. And following that up, we had a draft swap with the Capitals, 7th-round pick, 6th-round pick, all that stuff. We also had the Denisenko trade with the Predators. That was one of our minor leaguers that just wasn't gonna really have a spot on the team from Henderson, so might as well do that, get some future considerations. But obviously, the one that everyone's been talking about today, one that everyone has been focusing on with the Golden Knights and their trade deadline, has been the return of one of the Misfits, one of the original, the OGs, the Misfits. Riley Smith is back in Vegas. He was part of the Knights from the original, the Misfits. He was part of the Misfits. He stayed with us through the Cup run. Then he got traded so we could keep Ivan Barbashev. But of course, he's back. He's back, and all we had to give up was a third-round pick from the San Jose Sharks and Brendan Brisson. Brendan Brisson. I don't know why I mispronounced that, but one of our former draft picks who hasn't panned out. So, yeah, we didn't really do much. Personally, I love the Riley Smith trade. I think it's an amazing trade because we have really needed help on the wings, even though our wings have been better this year because some of the guys that, there's been a lot of guys for us who have been having career years for us, so a lot of, a wing help would be nice, and Riley Smith made a lot of sense because we didn't have to trade much to get him, and, Riley Smith is, of course, a Knights legend because he's a Misfit, he's a Stanley Cup champion, and yeah, it's great to have him back, and if tonight's a sign of things to come, then I think the Knights are doing very well. I expect Riley Smith will be playing with William Karlsson really soon once he returns, and yeah, I really like what we did with Riley Smith. Of the other trades, I mean, Holtz hasn't really done much. I mean, Grant Cotter's basically like a bottom sixer at best, so it's not that big of a deal. It still stings to have lost Logan Thompson, especially considering how well Thompson's been doing, but you know what, I mean, it is what it is now. I'm glad Logan's doing well in Washington, but overall, not much to say about the Golden Knights, but I like what we did. It was simple, and that's fine by me.
Also, I nearly peed my pants when they said hi.
Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. Yeah, so the Golden Knights admin decided to do a little bit of tomfoolery this morning when they tweeted out "hi," and everyone just lost their shit because I see that tweet and it's like, okay, they're doing their usual tomfoolery, and I checked I clicked on the tweet and I see like over 500 likes and over 100 replies in a minute. So that was quite the experience right there. That was quite the Golden Knights admin masterclass right there.
And thankfully for all four of us here, I think I have the perfect apparatus here to react to such a thing of social media. React, how did it feel when the Golden Knights tweeted hi?
No comment.
Fuck you.
Okay, hold on. React bot. Did the Golden Knights scare you?
Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
I mean,
right.
I think. Are you sure, React bot? Because like, whenever the Golden Knights tweet anything, especially any time near trade deadline, I pee my pants.
That sounds like a you problem,
that's
honestly.
a thing.
React bot, did
we
the
have
Golden
that
Knights making NHL trades make you want to pee your pants a little?
Dude, this is starting to get into fetish territory. I'm gonna have to hit you with the Nick, my good man. You have the horny bat. Please do your thing.
Hey, I shall swing it away. Horny, be gone. Whack.
Bonk. You're right, React bot. I needed
I think
to get.
you killed him.
I needed to be bonked there. Thanks, React bot.
Yeah.
Anyways, what grade are we giving the Golden Knights?
I'll give them a strong B because we didn't really do much, but I think a B is fair.
Yeah, I think a B for Vegas.
I will give them a B, yeah.
I want to give massive props to the Knights too. I mean, every year, even in their 1 year they missed the cup, they have been one of the most stable and consistently good franchises in the league. That's hard to do. That is hard to do for any team, let alone an expansion one. That's very impressive.
They're very much like the biggest like success stories of any sports expansion team, really, because even like the previous like big success stories, like even like the Jags and the Panthers in 1995, they weren't having this level of consistent success, like swinging out of the gate.
Like, like the Diamondbacks, because they won a World Series, but they also didn't see that consistent success like the Golden Knights have.
If anything, the Golden Knights are making all of Canada cry every day.
I love making Canada cry.
Yeah.
Please stop. I'm...
If I don't want to.
Wait a second.
Nick, I'm about to become the 51st state. I'm not going to be happy.
I don't want a 51st state. I just like making Canada cry.
Okay, I guess. And until Canada wins the Stanley Cup, Canadians are going to call the Golden Knights expansion draft rigged. And that's just endless coping and seething.
That's cope.
Alright, we got two left. Lightning round. Caps. Oh, good. They only just added Anthony Beauvillier, Lars Eller, Chychrun, Thompson. Those additions are excellent. But, like, really quiet on the deadline despite being a top team. I'm going to give them a C-.
I'm going to give them a B because I think that's the right move. Don't screw up the chemistry. This feels like a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I feel like put them above the... I honestly say put them above the Flames.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's fair. Like, you don't want to mess with the formula, and that's a good move by the Capitals.
Yeah. React bot, how do you feel about the power of friendship?
Wait, was that React bot?
Yeah, he did the fucking nerd point. He did the nerd point. You bitch.
Thanks, React bot. All right, Jets. They added Brandon Tanev, Luke Shen, and Dmitry Kuzmin. And they sent to as Dick Phillips, they sent Dmitry Kuzmin, and they acquired top prospect Brandon Yeager. Yeah, you had to do more. I am gonna bash them because the Stars loaded up and the Avs loaded up, and you still want to. If you want to have home ice advantage, yeah, doing nothing is not gonna work out. And Brett, you overpaid for a bottom six, a fourth line forward. Whoa, good job.
I mean, to be fair, they've been like blue hot coming out of the gate, and I thought they were going to be like heavy rebuilding after they sent Pierre-Luc Dubois to the Kings. So
I still think they're a first round exit though. They because like I don't think they're going to beat the Avs or the Stars.
Oh my God! Imagine if the Wild beat them.
I think the Wild could beat them.
What if I told you that Spencer's hate can make anyone beat the Stars?
Oh my God!
Hey, Reactbot, can Spencer's hate beat anybody?
Man, that's tough.
Oof.
Yeah, it is.
That is.
That's a real thinker.
I'm giving him. No, C minus. We don't have enough teams in C minus.
Yeah, they can join
We can do that.
No, wait, no. It makes sense for Anaheim to be all by itself. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because it's in the duck chair, the cuck chair.
Okay, I'll give him the C. Hey, Reactbot, can the Ducks go in the cuck chair?
Can't show this one to Mom.
All right. That is our trade deadline. That is our trade deadline. I will post this on Twitter as soon as I can.
And I will be posting it to the Sickos Blue Sky. As well as the fact that Reactbot totally jinxed the Commanders and...
Damn, dude. Reactbot, thank you for joining us today.
This is me when I go to a Starbucks.
Guess we're at Starbucks now.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna be Goatware's desktop trade deadline open. I guess we're a Starbucks now. Alright, thanks Reactbot for thinking we're Starbucks. It's much appreciated.
This is a bop.
Yeah, I always want to be American. I always want to be a cup of coffee.
I mean, think of it. We're woke now. We're even more woke. Hey, thanks, Reactbot, for making us woke.
That's wild.
Alright, that's our trade deadline. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. We're going to have Reactbot. I'm going to download packs 1. I'm going to buy packs 1 and 2 for next week. And then hopefully I can add Reactbot into OBS to show you guys how funny Reactbot is. Holy shit. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out. Bye.